that Denham there early, and a free kick is going to Robbie Neal in the back, and will take the kick in the centre square. In fact, it's going back the other way. I'm sure the umpire pointed the wrong way. Now, no one still knows, so it's been a great start.
Could have easily gone either way. I think they both went at it hard, didn't they?
Yeah, Denham off to Thompson. Thompson kicks out to the flank, and Aussie Jones sits underneath it and takes a relieving mark across half-back. Slips. I think we'll see some of this. Conditions are pretty slippery. Very cool night in Melbourne, but excellent for footy. Great kick. Terrific kick. And this is Barry Hall. Swings round, comes back into the middle. Burke sits and waits, stands, now can run. Caught for room, blocked beautifully. Falls to Vidovic, wobbles the kick forward, and is low, coming out to meet it, and takes it right in front of his eyes.
You know, if you were here 2 weeks ago, this is exactly the same start against Carlton. They got into attack early. Lowe took, I think, 2 or 3 marks and kicked at least 2 goals in the first 10, 12 minutes.
Yes, well, Burke tried to change direction, look for Peter Everett, who'd run to his left, and in doing so, then the ball came free to Vidovic, and the space left by Everett allowed big fella to come through and take that easy grab in the end.
So Stewie Lowe for first score of the game, and St Kilda. The umpire moves across, and only the point result. So first score to St Kilda. They're on the board.
So the kicking in to be done by Michael Pryor. He's held his place in the side for the Bombers, but that kick, not all that well directed. It's Elliott playing his 50th game for the Saints. Not his 50th game with St Kilda, but his 50th game in the AFL. Starting with Fitzroy, then Richmond, and now the Saints. This is Neal. Bomber Thompson yelling instructions to his fellow defenders, but Neal will have a shot for goal. The player on the mark, it's about 45 metres from goal. A very, very good crowd gathering here at Waverley for this game. It's a good kick by Robert Neal, the first goal of the game to the Saints. It's a good start for St Kilda, 1-1, Essendon yet to score.
Yes, and he's one of the players, the young fellows that Malcolm and I spoke about in the open, just saying that they've got to step up and be more consistent. And he's joined by Jamie Ellis, who said there, just pushing the ball through. Bardsley, another player who's been pretty consistent, very determined young fellow. Good setup, found the right direction, gave his teammate a better shot at goal.
So back in the centre, 7 points to St Kilda. Bombers yet to score. Vidovic grabs it out of the air. Coming in hard is Danaher. Great hands in from Fraser, can't get a hold of it. Masidi, a very smart tap back to Thompson. He kicks the balls met solidly. Daniels there with Wanganeen. That'll be a great contest watching that. Wanganeen back onto it very, very quickly indeed. Zirakoski caught in the tackle. Gives up the ball to Joel Smith. He's also caught. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Some 55 metres from Essendon's goal. And probably the first time they've really been into attack in the game so far. So plenty of players around this footy. Put down. In front, Connor. Big, strong, left foot. Great play. Kicks it back towards the goals. And Shanahan happy to see that over the line and out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. Right next to the behind post. Essendon forward line. And in the sportsbook, St Kilda 6-4 and Essendon 9-4 on. So pretty surprising odds, really. St Kilda's form's been pretty good. Quick kick out to Daniels. Caught, drops it. Now has to paddle it back. Peckett into pressure. Gives out the handball out wide to Anderson. Anderson comes to Muir, who's got touches early in the game. Kicks on the 50-metre line, back towards the wing. Flyers wanted. Off the head of players to Thompson. Uses the left-handed handball to Denham. Now a quick kick forward, short, and breaks down across half-back to Joel Smith.
Gee, it's interesting. St Kilda look as though they've got 2 of their younger players, Joel Smith and Aussie Jones. Ross playing in half-back areas.
Yes, defensive area, yes, certainly have, Robbo.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Jason Daniels' hand pass was inaccurate, but Bardsley able to gather. Burke caught by Harvey. Ball spills to Somerville. The free kick is going to the Essendon tackler, Mark Harvey. He's right in the middle of the ground. He kicks it quickly and finds his mate Buick. Well, they're all mates, aren't they? These players that play together. Wanganeen's got a chance. He'll shoot for goal, running into 25 metres and does it beautifully. Well done, Gavin Wanganeen. That was an intelligent kick.
Yes, we're playing in a forward role, Robbo, tonight, normally defensively or through the centre, but he started across half forward, and Jason Daniels, his opponent, who got caught going down the field. There he's on screen there, way behind. Wanganeen taking the forward role, saying, well, I can just sit back here and perhaps take a chance and we'll get the ball coming back, which it did, and a clever finish.
He's a smart player, he's a good player, he's a brave player, he's a Brownlow medalist. He's a complete player, isn't he, Gavin Wanganeen? The ruck contest. Chance here for Chris Danaher to kick Essendon forward once again. It'll land the ball forward. O'Connor's marked it. The ball had just a little bit more carry on it than a couple of the St Kilda defenders expected. And it carried to the back where O'Connor has taken a well-judged chest mark. And he'll kick from only 15 metres out. The angle, his greatest concern. Just looking better with every game he plays, Ryan O'Connor. Trouble with distance, and he's got the accuracy. The Bombers have got their second on the scoreboard.
Yes, and O'Connor starting back there, and David Sierakowski is picking him up. Both players spent time in the ruck for their respective sides, but in the absence of James Hird, O'Connor spending more time forward. They're all bunching right up towards the goal square, the Essendon half forward line, leaving a big gap forward. And here Danaher's got the job on Robert Harvey, allowing Harvey to start out of the square, although he's back in there now. An important role for Chris Danaher, but a good goal to Ryan O'Connor.
So 2 quick goals to the Bombers, puts them back in front, and Somerville goes early with the left hand. In underneath is Harvey. Danaher again gets the ball going forward, some midfield pressure caught. Great tackle from Keogh. Muzzy Jones slides in, and the free kick has gone against Keogh. The umpire saying he actually slung Danaher after he was disposed of the footy. Pretty tough call. Chris Danaher goes long. Oh, it's a pretty good kick to Mercury. That's an excellent mark too out in front.
Yes, that's again a player, Mel, I mentioned in the opening. He's such a sharp and smart player when he gets the football, and he averages it 20 odd times a game. Dean Anderson has the role on him. He'll spend time up forward and also down around the midfield with Mark Mercury, but he's so clever around goals. That's an example of that, but it was a very good kick to find him in the first place.
So he'll kick from just inside 50, in fact 45 metres. Oh, it's gone right over the goal umpire's hat. Great kick from Mercury. And the Bombers sneak away and get their third.
Yes, in getting the ball out of the centre, we always say so very important, but an illustration tonight on a couple of occasions why that is so, and Chris Danaher has been very much a part of that. And there's that kick to find the lead of Mercury. A couple of players trying to cover him there. They have plenty of space to run into.
Roscoe numbers 2, 3 and 4 for Essendon have kicked their goals. Do you think Mark Harvey, number 1, can kick the next one?
He'll certainly try.
He's a long way away at the moment. 3 goals straight, the Bombers. St Kilda are 1-1. The Saints a chance now through Nathan Burke. He clears that centre area. Leading in the race, Bardsley gets the hand pass back to Harvey. Tackled by Pryor. Releases the ball. Barry Hall. Contest? There's no contest. Bardsley's got hold of the ball. Kicks it with his right foot, but it's marked safely there by O'Donnell. Away to Mercedes. Runs away from Everett. Transfers play across the ground. Essendon player on his own is Somerville. He is at left half back for the Bombers. Runs around onto his right foot. Kicks a wobbly old punt kick into the middle of the ground. Beaten for it was Young. The bounce was awkward for him. Race on now, Mercury and Wanganeen. They both overrun it. Back goes Peckett. Slips the cockatoo Collins tackle and gets it to Young. Wider still finds Vidovic. Vidovic gets that drop punt moving forward. Knocked away by Harvey. Jones is there. Can he gather? Yes, he can. Gives away a little bit of ground. Back to Burke. Burke's 4th kick. He finds Lowe, the co-captains, figuring in that passage of play for St Kilda. Lowe's kick in towards centre half forward. Somerville up high. Big fist to it. Kicked away by Pryor. Back towards the middle of the ground. Vidovic a big punch. Free kick, says the umpire. And it looks as though it may be going to St Kilda, to be taken by Dean Anderson. Anderson is on centre wing. Just trying to work out whether he can go short. He may have to kick long.
It's very cluttered there, Robbo, at half forward.
Bombers just crowding it up as far as the St Kilda forward line is concerned. If that's not a free kick, it certainly, or a mark, it certainly will be a free kick to O'Donnell. Stood his ground manfully, and Lowe, the player, coming in at the last second and infringing. Gary O'Donnell, there's Stuart Lowe being attended to by the runner, or spoken to by the runner, Russell Green.
And
goes to O'Connor. O'Connor trapped that beautifully for a big fella, kept his feet well. Joel Smith worked Cockatoo Collins underneath the ball. Wanganeen held, and the free kick will come back to Gavin Wanganeen. That's 65 metres from goal. Umpire Dennis Rich pointing the spot, and Daniels has to stand the mark. Kicks, Cummings on a lead. Oh, fantastic interception. Great stuff from Robert Harvey. Shanahan almost, Buick clever, and knocks it over the line. So great pressure there from the Essendon and forward line, just to thwart the defence of St Kilda. And at the moment, possible local shouts, 11 down to a very cool 8 degrees tonight. Bardsley breaks away and bounces. Now kicks out wide to the wing. Joe Mercedes in underneath it with a great mark, great one-hander. Somehow or other the ball stuck between his arm and forceps. He's got to say, and he's got hold of it.
How did he mark that?
Yeah, fantastic. To Somerville, and that's good skills. Now, looking for leads. Just kicks to the spot. Didn't try and belt that ball. Fletcher. Great kick, really. Almost a set play, it looked like, from here, where he only actually kicked the ball 40 metres instead of belting it.
Yes, the Cummings lead, which is initially it looked as if it was intended to kick two, was a bit half-hearted in some respects. And Fletcher had come all the way down. You see everyone on screen there just couldn't pick him up coming down from half forward. And when the play gets down with that sort of elevation, very hard to stop him.
And Dustin Fletcher, not another goal kicker, just 3 for the year. Number 1 hasn't got it, Robbo, but number 31 has their 4th goal.
Glascott, an ex-Carlton Premiership player, tried to plot the demise of the Blues 2 weeks ago, sitting on the St Kilda coach's bench. Rod Keogh couldn't quite clear that pack of players, but Bardsley could. Harvey punch away. Barry Hall tackled. Ball nearly spills, but eventually Harvey collects it. With his left foot kicks it wide, but the first player back is Aussie Jones. He assesses the situation and then bangs it back into that forward pocket area. Not really a kick that the forward would have liked to have sat under. Oh, tremendous clash there between Burke and Lowe on Berbatov. And the ball spills over for a boundary throw-in. Lowe gets up a little gingerly. He was Stuart Lowe. Well, it's Nathan Burke that ran into him and just looked a little groggy when he regained his footing. Pryor's kick goes back towards the wing. Cockatoo Collins gets rid of his opponent. Away goes Surakoski, hand pass misses Peckett by a large margin. Buick goes in after it, looking for the free kick. Peckett is still there, takes it over. Boundary throw in. No, there's a free kick.
It's coming back for holding initially, I think, Robbo.
And Buick has hurt his shoulder.
He's had a lot of trouble with this over the journey, and a couple of weeks ago the same thing happened, and he recovered to come back on the ground to be a good player. It just seems to pop on him.
Yes, and it's the one they wanted to operate on when he did his knee, but they've had to hold off for that, obviously. He couldn't do the two together. That's why he's missed a few games, missed the Origin weekend.
A lot of little exercises being done there by Darren Buick as Bruce Reid, the Essendon doctor, races out to see if he can help him out. The short kick has been marked by O'Connor. O'Connor swings around onto his right foot, kicks it well inside 50. In front is Everett. Now be careful. An indiscretion there would be just catastrophic for the Saints. They trail on the scoreboard. The Bombers have kicked 4 straight. St Kilda are 1-1. Everett's kick is okay. Peckett, he's got plenty of space here at Waverley in front of himself. 35 metres, 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Now will kick forward. Looks back there for Lowe, couldn't take the mark. Neal tackle on Somerville. Away goes Pryor. He's mopping up well across that back line as Michael Pryor. Magnificent handball to Doolan. Doolan to Thompson. Thompson into the middle. He hooks the kick a little bit. Oh, well done. In chips there, Matthew Young. He's tackled by Denham. He could be... No, he's going to get the free kick. Handball away. Daniels kicks the St Kilda side forward.
And kicks it away to Gary O'Donnell. So the half-back line of Essendon doing pretty well. Pryor and O'Donnell getting some touches. Goes back into Mercury. Hits the ground and runs. Misses with the handball. Tries to find Denham. Daniels well in tight. Spins around and gives it to Bardsley. And Bardsley finds Nathan Burke, centre wing, just into attack St Kilda. Now they are. Big kick to Lowe. Big punch from Fletcher. Fantastic stuff. Falls to Neal. Neal has a shot from 30 metres out, and the ball is very wide and out of bounds. So he'd be disappointed with that kick. He probably just had enough space and just didn't put it down as the body came at him from an opponent. Darren Buick still feeling that shoulder. He's been through it many times before. I think he knows exactly what's going on with his body. Tap down from low. Denham caught, held on to. Berbikov gives the ball away towards the boundary line. Burke swings, kicks the ball back towards goal, and it's all Essendon. Mark Harvey relieves easily.
Harvey, good chest mark, an excellent kick, finds Fletcher. Fletcher with a little bit of area to spin around and kick with his right foot into the middle. And Shea Cockatoo Collins has taken the mark. He's on the defensive end of the square. His kick will land close to centre-half forward for the Bombers. Getting back for the St Kilda side as Everett, combines with Daniels. Daniels' little left foot kick out into the path there of Keogh was very well done. When we think that he's not a very good kick of the ball, that was excellent football by Daniels. The punch forward, Masidi couldn't control it, and it's over for a boundary throw in on centre wing in front of the members area.
Good work by Michael Pryor too with the job there on Nathan Burke, just getting a hand to the ball, keeping it away from his opponent.
Big job there because Nathan Burke and Robert Harvey, Stuart Lowe, they're all key players. Can't afford to let him take control of the game. Keogh, just a little slow. Chopped off by Somerville. Now Chris Danaher for Essendon, right half back. Runs around and then kicks to half forward. Very well done. Wanganeen out in front there of Daniels. And not 50 metres. No. The crowd roaring as if anticipating, but Wanganeen will kick Essendon towards centre forward, but Everett has taken the mark. Cannot believe the number of times that players kick straight to the opposition when there's not much pressure on, and that was a perfect example. Vidovic gets it to Peckett. Peckett runs straight through centre half back, down to the wing, and then puts St Kilda into their attacking half. Lowe makes a good contest. Bardsley mopping beautifully. Goes Christian Bardsley. He could kick a goal for St Kilda. There'll be a roar here. It's either Bardsley's goal or Robert Neal's. But St Kilda fans don't really care too much because they've got their second on the scoreboard. They still trail 2-1 St Kilda. Essendon are 4 straight.
There's a good attack there by Peckett to push the ball forward. Just gets through over 50 into the centre square area when he kicks. Realising he had a lot to kick to. And then Pryor stood his ground pretty well with Lowe coming out of the back, and Bardsley, the right spot for a small fella. I think Robbo was nearly got it just on the line. Did sit up? Yes, he had to kick it.
So Robert Neal getting the goal for St Kilda right on the line. It just didn't roll through. Second for the quarter. They're back in the centre. Big jump from Somerville. That's a great push. That gives someone to chase at it. Burke under pressure then has to go very wide after getting a possession, which means it falls to Wanganeen. And a clever play. Clever skills to Cockatoo Collins. Back to Wanganeen. The old 1-2. And then a kick. Shanahan does well with Cummings. Great pressure there from the big man. Burke goes back to Anderson. Now back to Burke. Terrific skills at the back from St Kilda. Chips the ball forward and accepted by Hall. Off to the running Anderson, who really has doubled up well. The ball goes forward and the ball punched out by Fraser as Cummings and Shanahan decide about that little contest before, and Brian Wood coming into the runner for Essendon just to calm him down. So 11-point margin to the Bombers. And talking to the Bomber, there's one over the back. Bomber Thompson off to Fraser, slips to O'Donnell and back to Thompson, and the ball again is forced out of bounds. So it's been a pretty lively start, Ross. The school hasn't been too bad considering.
It is difficult, Blight. A few players have fallen over as they've gone to kick, so the greasy conditions take a while to get used to, but I think it's been pretty good considering.
The boundary throwing, O'Connor with a backhander. Really does set up St Kilda players. Most of them stand that defensive side of the pack. Bushy Jones slipped. There you are, Ross. There's another one. And really has copped up that footy to O'Connor. Some shared stuff-ins with Masiti. And McCurry wanted the spot, but there's Buick. The brilliant Darren Buick lets it run across the face of goals. And is this man Peckett coming? Players come at it. He gets opposite off the ground. Goes back to Wanganeen, who is just over the other side. So he's covered some terrific ground. Gets a high tackle. Now wants to give it up quickly to Buick. Buick in space. Wants to run. Now dodges back. Clever play again. Darren Buick kicked and has kicked the Bombers' first point.
Just that initial kick too, Blighty, by Buick at goal, when he tried to get around. He kicked it beautifully, and if it wasn't so greasy, I reckon the ball might have sat up and kept rolling through and might have gone through. They just didn't have enough grip to turn back in toward goal.
It's exciting, isn't it, watching the skills of these players, AFL football, oval ball, conditions you don't control, but they seem to be able to do some magical things with that footy. Keogh's little kick along the half-back line has been marked by Vidovic. Vidovic, a terrific job against Somerville and Ryan O'Connor if St Kilda are to win this game. Away goes Barry Hall. His kick into the centre is okay. Nathan Burke's on the end of it. He kicks it quickly to full forward. 1-on-1. Lowe and Berbatov too strong. Too powerful, Stuart Lowe. Young Berbatov. Not much hope there, Roscoe.
Yes, he's got to make up his mind whether he stands and tries to bustle with Lowe, or he gets back a little bit and tries to have a bit of a run and a jump and try and force the ball forward. But it's that split-second decision he has to make, because he'll find it difficult to try and body him out of it.
Well, he's a big man, isn't he, Stuart Lowe? He's outgunned a few strong fullbacks over the years. His kick is disappointing. Just to behind. Second behind for Stuart Lowe. 2 goals to Robert Neal. All singles for Essendon. Mercury, O'Connor and Wanganeen, and Dustin Fletcher, who was about to kick the ball back in for the Bombers. Crowd looks terrific now, doesn't it? Probably more than 40,000, closer to 50,000 people here at Waverley for a very important game. I think, Malcolm, you mentioned that it's important for both sides just to keep in touch with the top 4. The result of this game, all important. Mercury has the kick, and he goes short again, or a little bit risky, but Joe Mercedes has taken the mark.
Joe Mercedes has been in very good form this year. Giving up possessions. His 4th kick, he's also had 2 handballs, so that's a pretty good start. O'Connor and Waitland. Falls to Harvey. Sets up Anderson. Now goes long and high. Flyers wanted. Everett with last jump. Can't quite get to the contest. Falls out to Harvey on the 50-metre line defensively. Now under pressure. Kicks it back into the centre of the ground. And Anderson there with a big slide, baseball slide, picks it up. Centre square area. Wants players coming at him. Now Sirakoski. And he kicks, and Somerville sits and waits. So just a disappointing finish occasionally from St Kilda as they get the ball through their midfield. Denham now in 2 minds, has to come back and find Pryor. So young Michael Pryor, one of the really finds of the season, I think. He really is developing into a lovely player with so few games. And the ball goes out of bounds. In fact, just 18. Ross, you would have liked him?
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a rap for him. He's very neat and tidy, goes straight at the footy and always looks up and tries to find someone who gets the ball. A good player to have in that back area, because he always wants to give it to a teammate.
O'Connor, strong. Mercury, caught. And now Bardsley has to do a spin and gets a high tackle. A bit lucky there. She didn't really make an attempt to get rid of the footy, and I've seen some of those go the other way.
Should go and buy a lotto ticket.
Bardsley comes out wide to Neal. Robbie Neal, the former Swan, looks in towards centre half forward, but just chips it instead to Keogh. Keogh links it up. Now goes longer. Everett and Fletcher. Good contest from all round to Burke. Burke snaps and snaps far too wide. So just another point result. So that's the 2 captains, co-captains have kicked the last 2 scores for St Kilda. Unfortunately, a point apiece, and 10 points the margin.
Robert Harvey getting a bit frustrated too. The close checking tactics of Chris Danaher just unsettling him a bit.
Well, he's been a good player, hasn't he, Chris Danaher, over a long period of time. It took him a long time to break into this Essendon lineup.
He's restricted Harvey at the moment, just 2 handballs.
Kick in by Pryor, finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell is very close to the boundary line, you can see there, and not very far away from the behind post, and pinches, absolutely steals about 25, 35, 40 metres from Everett. How he got across there, and I believe you're supposed to kick over the man on the mark, but anyway, the umpire let him go. Mercedes, very well done by Young, but just couldn't stop the Bombers from surging forward again. Fraser gives away ground to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's kick is a beauty and finds Chris Danaher right on centre wing. Members side, Robert Harvey on the mark.
No tools to kick to, Robbo.
So just a little stagnant, the football. He's kicking towards the half-forward area, and it's a turnover. Rod Keogh is marked. Away to Anderson. Anderson runs across the half-back line. Just a little risky. Stands his ground. Cockatoo Collins nearly run him down. Gets the hand pass away. They haven't gone anywhere, St Kilda. Keogh kicks it down the wing. Still there in Essendon's half-forward area. Mark Thompson forced to kick with his right. Does it pretty well. In towards half-forward. That's a free kick to Essendon. Wanganeen will be the recipient. Interference against Daniels in the marking contest. Just had hold of him. You can see the right arm wrapping around Wanganeen's midriff there. And Gavin Wanganeen to take the free kick.
This is his 8th kick, and he's been busy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a jack in the box, isn't he, Gavin Wanganeen? Wonder whether he'll be in those Essendon colours next year. His high kick towards the front of the square. Up high was Cummings, taken by Bardsley. Handball Joel Smith, able to run away. Kicks it pretty well underground nearly, and finds touch out in front of Doolan and Aussie Jones. Aussie Jones appealing to maybe his teammate, but the kick could have been a little better going out there. But a boundary throw in with just over a minute left in the first quarter. And at this stage, Essendon have an advantage. They're 4-1 to 2-3. Denham, can he help out? He can help out O'Connor. O'Connor's snapshot for goal. He's just offline and through for Ryan O'Connor's second score. He's kicked 1-1 in that scoreline for the Bombers. Essendon 4-2, St Kilda 2-3, so Essendon 11 points in front with a minute to go in the first term.
Justin Peckett, bring the ball back in. He really is lovely skilled too. They have a mini huddle and then 4 points out wide do St Kilda. Interesting setup from Stan out. Now goes wide and the set play almost works, but Cockatoo Collins gets a fingernail on it. Danaher kicks it forward just as far as Bardsley, and Bardsley just unloads it, kicks it high towards Waitman. Here's Harvey. He'll set something up, sets up O'Neill. Great movement here from St Kilda. Great contest also at centre-half forward. Harvey in front, recovers beautifully. Terrific player is Harvey, and finds Fletcher with a wonderful kick out wide. Fletcher now comes back inside.
Sorry, Blighty. Cummings has been taken from the ground. He's got a fair bit of time out there with Brian Wood, so he's been taken off.
Denham kicks, and Buick falls over, and Peckett really can stop this attack now. So they really want to buy a bit of time and just hold this up as this quarter closes in on empty, and the ball comes out very wide with a kick. Terrific attempt from Elliott in front on O'Donnell. Now to Daniels, out to Matthew Young, and Young kicks the ball clear with Aussie Jones having a paddock in front of him, but far too late. And that margin of 11 points is pretty handy at this stage of the game. 2-3 to 4-2, and lost but entertaining.
It was, Blighty. It looked as if Essendon were going to really blow this game out in the first quarter, but to St Kilda's credit, they bit back and got a couple of goals back through Robert Neal, which just gives them some sort of a chance, although Essendon still look very much in control, particularly when they go forward. And their midfield play is certainly much more structured, as we see Kevin Sheedy talking to Scott Cummings, which is what the runner Brian Wood spent some time too, saying you've got to lead in a certain way in a certain area according to how we've set up. Just be aware of that. He's been caught out a bit and has been jostling with Shanahan, who's frustrated him. His reaction has been to get a bit physical, and it's worked against him.
I remember Kevin Sheedy saying a few weeks ago after he kicked 8 goals, I think it was, that he had 30% improvement in him, and after kicking 8 goals, it's a pretty big statement.
Yeah, then he struggled the next week, and Sheedy had him out at half-time having shots at goal, so you can lose. You can't flirt with your form, Blighty, can you?
No, indeed not. So St Kilda at this stage 2-3-15, Essendon 4-2-25. So we await this second quarter.
There's young Lucas.
Did that look like Joe Mercedes on the bench too for Essendon at the start of this second term?
I wasn't sure, to be honest. Here we go to start the second quarter. The Bombers lead by 11 points. Somerville and Vidovic at it again. Thompson in under the centre. Burke tries very hard to get it, but a free kick you'd think going back to Thompson for a high tackle from Keogh. So Thompson, former skipper, premiership captain, kicks out of the centre square, wobbles it forward really. Waitman can't bend down to pick it up. Everett, in fact, Vidovic knocks it forward, and Burke caught in a tackle right on the centre square.
No, it's actually Paul Barner. There's Mercedes just coming to picture now, Robbo. The back there.
Aha, they've got the same haircut, Roscoe.
Correct.
Short back and sides.
There's the umpires. Brian Sheehan, that was, put it down. Racing after it. Oh, Wanganeen met solidly. Unbelievably bounced straight up the rubber man. It did hurt him, I'm sure. It falls to Denham. Denham kicks the ball forward. Peckett in front of Buick. Can't get hold of it. Cockatoo Collins plays for the free kick. Now Lucas. couldn't quite get the handball out to Cockatoo Collins, and now he's caught by the St Kilda defence. And another bounce with Dennis Rich coming in. There's Gavin Wanganeen. Wasn't he met solidly?
Oh, terrific stuff. He just shook his head, went on with it again.
I mean, that's got him down the side. I mean, he missed his head, but I'm glad they're young, aren't they? You don't feel them as much.
No, it's terrific.
O'Connor, that's clever. Tries to get the ball out. Now falls to Joel Smith, unloads it. Cockatoo Collins ducks into Harvey. Unloads it to Danaher. Harvey back with a great tackle. That's a super tackle.
It's penalised for holding on, Blighty. Can you believe that?
When are the umpires going to realise that if a tackle knocks the ball free and it's gone, let it go?
Danaher kicks, and Shanahan does very well to get rid of the youngster Lucas. So really has become a very good player, Shanahan, and he hasn't done that very well because he's picked out Somerville in a defensive error coming across the goal, and Peter Somerville.
Yes, and Stan Alves has taken his other big fella off the ground, David Sierakowski, a quarter time, so Vidovic stays in the ruck and just a bit too slow to pick that up. The kick didn't help him, of course, but his opponent, Somerville, getting across. Much improved player, this fellow.
He's having a very good year. He's only kicked 3 goals for the year too, so he hasn't been a goal kicker, but he's done a power work around the midfield.
Used that left-hand palm very well, doesn't he?
Yeah, someone who mattered in that, wasn't he? He developed that beautifully.
McKernan's doing much the same thing.
So Peter Somerville kicking from 30 metres, 45-degree angle. We'll have a good look at this as it goes, and that is a goal. 5th one to Essendon. So the Bombers start with a goal, just what the Saints didn't want at the start of this second quarter.
Yes, and that'll make the Saints defenders even more tentative about where they go next, to go across rather than go short again if they want to change direction. When the opposition picks up, particularly the big fellows, he's looking for Vidovic, he couldn't quite get there, and it's good play by Somerville.
But if you keep harassing Ross, you create panic like that, don't you? I mean, if you just keep nipping away, the guy's going to make a blue, and it leads to a goal to Essendon. Peter Somerville with a fair amount of skill for a big bloke, over 6'5" in the old, and kicks a good goal. 5-2 to 2-3 early in the second term. St Kilda need an answering goal quickly. Brown on the ground, gets it back to Harvey. Harvey's got to get quite a few more possessions. His kick to half forward, gathered by Denham. Burke just a little late. Denham's kick across his right shoulder. The bounce was very kind there for Chris Danaher. He lopes away, kicks it back towards the centre of the ground, and Mercedes has taken the mark. Looks to play on, nearly run down, got his kick away. In towards centre half forward. Anderson and Mercury. Back to Cockatoo Collins. Very well done. Out in front of Fraser. He gets back, then ducks back onto his right foot, kicks in towards full forward. Buick controls it, gets hold of it again. Darren Buick, snapshot for goal. Great kick. First goal to Buick for the evening. And the 6th goal on the scoreboard for Essendon, 6-2 to 2-3.
See, the ability of those small players, Robbo, for Essendon, particularly their Mark Fraser, to go flat out. Mercedes just his kick away. Watch Fraser here change direction without losing control of his footing. Cockatoo Collins goes forward, got to jump a bit, and stops, changes quickly, and then found his man. This was pretty clever in itself too. How he likes them. Another one of those controlled kicks.
There's a brilliant goal to Darren Buick, and some danger signs here now for the Saints. Both ruckmen go early. Vidovic then whacks it forward. Keogh comes hard at the footy to try and sock it off the ground. Ball's caught. Keogh can't quite get hold of it, so it's pretty tight in there as players try and sort this out. Just on the point of the square, and a free kick will go against Essendon for a throw. And Rod Keogh with the number 2 cut, or probably 2.5 now, grown a bit. Kicks, tries to just lay this in front of it low, wants to hold off, and that is a sensational mark.
You're not supposed to take those.
Verderknocht would have to look up and say, how did he get there?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's worked out he's probably stronger. This is 2 in a row, isn't it?
Yes.
And I mean, you just don't take him. That is unbelievable.
Good touch of the hands, Blighties, and not to hit the ball too hard and just allow it to drop down in front and control it. It's clever.
And it's Jimmy Lowe. The captain really needs to kick this for St Kilda's benefit, and he has. So they've got their 3rd, so that's really what they wanted to answer those 2 Essendon goals.
And that'll give Stewie Lowe some confidence too. His other 2 shots at goal have resulted in points. So the ball coming down looked to be a little bit up and under for him, but in that one-out duel, kicks the ball. No one else coming from behind to help spoil. Great stuff.
To be honest, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just going to fall to ground.
The look on Berbakov's face, though, it's amazing, isn't it? He probably thought he did nearly everything right, but the strength of Stuart Lowe prevails. Vidovic, left hand, not far enough. Mercuri's kick has been smothered off the boot. Nathan Burke gathers. His kick, not all that effective. Rolls awkwardly to centre-half forward, overrun by all except for Pryor. Handball back to Fletcher. Fletcher, with a bit of room, gets a good long kick in towards half forward. Smith dropped the mark. Now the race is on. The gather is by Harvey. Tackled by Cockatoo Collins. Gets the handball away to Smith. Smith goes back to Wakeland. Wakeland's kick over the top. Hand pass over the top. Finds Neal. Neal's kick across the half-forward line. Keogh. Now Jones. Handball. Good. Matthew Young running up to the 50-metre line. Go for goal. Lovely long kick by Young. Is marked by Lowe. It's either a goal or a mark to Lowe, and you would suggest it is the latter. Right on the goal line. Stuart Lowe is marked, and surely he will kick his 2nd goal and the 4th for St Kilda. Stuart Lowe from point-blank range kicks a goal. 2 goals each to Lowe and Robert Neal for St Kilda. Essendon are all singles. Essendon still lead. They're 6-2 to 4-3.
On Today Tonight, WA's kangaroos in danger.
Most of them would perish, I would think.
A cruel virus takes away their eyesight.
Whoops, straight into the tree.
And there's no cure.
Even the experts are stumped.
It is heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
Plus, the pain before the gain.
It's almost like war these days.
Felt it crunch.
Our medical science helps Captain John Worsfold back to the battlefield. And plastic surgery. Has it gone too far? Today Tonight, next week.
There's an Australian airline that can fly you to over 90 destinations in 27 countries on 5 continents. It's not just Australia's leading airline, it's the airline recently named Best in the World. The airline that you know best.
Repower with Prosapower and save up to $200 on fitting your new reconditioned engine right now. Prosapower have professionally reconditioned engines in stock, all makes, all models, and Prosapower will fit your new reconditioned engine for just $100. You could pay as much as $350, but not at Prosapower. Put your trust in a team of qualified specialist mechanics and save up to $200 at Prosapower, East Vic Park, Osborne Park and Wanneroo.
Experience a feeling of safety like never before. Independent rear suspension for maximum contact with the road. The superior control of anti-lock braking. The first Australian car with a driver's and now passenger airbag. All standard. The Holden Commodore Acclaim. Still the safest Australian family car ever. There's nothing quite like a Holden.
51.
Hi, I'm Bruce McAvaney.
And I'm Nicole Stevenson. Now, where are we here for? From? Well, we're here to tell you that now when you visit McDonald's, you can get one of these official Olympic hats for just $4.95. And we'll be grateful, grateful.
The McDonald's will donate $500,000 from the sale of these caps to the Australian Olympic team. That way, Nicole will be able to go to Atlanta and do what she does best.
Only $4.95? That's my mobile phone ringing out there.
Put it on.
I started, I'm sorry.
Stuart Lowe, powerful man. He's kicked 2 goals. It looks as though he might need to kick about 8 if St Kilda are to win this game.
11-point margin to the Saints, what it was at quarter time. Players work in underneath. Harvey somehow or other got out the pocket. His fair income comes through a hole in the ground. Kicks the ball. Everett meets it. Meets Pryor too. St Kilda have the numbers in Barnsley, but there's a free kick going back to Pryor. And the youngster stood his ground in front of Big Peter Everett.
He protected himself, Blighty, and just took it on the shot. Took it on the sides. I don't see whether there should have been a free kick.
Fair enough. And out to Peter Somerville. Somerville to Denham. O'Donnell's having trouble picking this up. The St. players now come at him. You see he flicks it back through his legs. And Denham again comes out wide to Harvey. Harvey waits. Now tries to measure the kick in. Great punch from Shanahan. Anderson smacks it away. Terrific defence here by St Kilda. Get it out past the 50-metre line. Keogh, terrific pick-up and give to Anderson. The ball needs to sit here for Daniels, but he can't as Thompson puts on pressure and forces it out of bounds.
Do you make anything out of the fact that Essendon have received 12 free kicks to 4 at this stage of the game? No?
Not really, Robbo, no. Vitovic's been taken off and Sierakowski back on.
So bounce between wing and half forward. Essendon into attack to Wanganeen's been very lively indeed. Fraser tries to tap it to the advantage of his teammate. It falls back to Burke, whose kick smothered. Somerville lopes towards the boundary line. Joel Smith, very clever player, evasive, kicks onto his left foot, and Thompson and Keogh, two desperates, have a go at it.
Well done.
Now to Young, and the Saints are rolling forward again. Everett, big chance, gets rid of Fletcher, now has to kick under pressure as he goes. Low again, you think, from behind, marks, but a free kick coming back, and we'll be going to Dustin Fletcher.
Was it going back to Everett?
I can't believe this.
He's going back to Everett, Whitey, for...
Well, why wasn't he allowed to play on?
He's kicked it. I think what he's done, he's actually kicked it
and then
been pushed in the back.
Yeah.
But that usually... Yeah, well, if you kicked in the art of, if you pushed in the art of kicking, it's a free kick at the spot.
But what's wrong with the advantage rule, Malcolm? I mean, there's 40,000 people out there going to ask the question, aren't they?
Sure. Otherwise, Peter Everett. He's a nice long kick normally. He hasn't quite got that one. He's pulled it across the face of the goal. Big jump from Hall over the low. Low snaps and it's hit the post.
Now, there's no justice in that. Absolutely no justice. You've got every reason to just complain.
We'll see this again, and I thought it was play on. That's why I looked up and I didn't see what happened. Now, he takes a fair bit of time because Lowe's pulling him long. Kicks it. Well, what on earth for?
You couldn't possibly not allow this to be a goal to Stuart Lowe. Anyway, that's another one for Johnny Russo on World of Sport tomorrow, a Sports World. Nasidi kicks it forward for Essendon, and all of a sudden, the Bombers have got the ball down to their half-forward line. Cockatoo Collins, not a bad tackle there by Anderson, but the ball spills for Mercury. Mercury at right half-forward, ducks and weaves and gets past, kicks in towards centre half-forward proper. Now the bounce is all important. Doolan and Ozzie Jones. Doolan gets it back. O'Donnell back to Doolan. Doolan spots a player in the middle of the ground. Well done. Fraser could get tackled by Young, but he gets the hand pass away for Denham. Denham back onto his left foot. Will kick long, in towards full forward. Marking contest. Terrific effort there by O'Connor, but the ball spills for Jones. Jones across his left shoulder. Important possession here. He's 1-on-3, Nathan Burke. But he's going to get back and make a bit of a go of it. Doolan, advantage by the little tap on. Pryor tries to sidestep. Yes, he succeeds. Gets the hand pass to O'Donnell. O'Donnell onto his left foot. Kicks in towards left half forward. The gather is by O'Connor. Back he goes to Doolan. Doolan approaches the 50-metre line. No mark to Mercury, but an important little kick. Wanganeen on the end of it. Opens it up. Cockatoo Collins. In comes Young. Couldn't control the football. Cockatoo Collins again. Handball away. Nasidi. A little kick in front of Buick. Buick over the gather. Backstepping. Kicks it high. Young. Wanganeen. Wanganeen. In front of Jason Daniels has taken a very good mark. About 40 metres out. But right up against the boundary line. 11 minutes left in the second term. Essendon lead. They're 6-2 to 4-4. Another bit of an arm wrestle here between these two teams. Wanganeen a little unsure. Goes in short. And it's okay. Mercury is marked. Just a little closer, but certainly has improved the angle.
He's often the player they spot there, Robbo. Mercury. Such a good finisher and always provides a lead there. Fraser's been taken off for Essendon. Michael Simon's on for his first run.
Mark Mercury has already kicked one. Kicking from about 30 metres. Oh, good kick by Mercury. But offline, only just. 1 goal, 1 to that player. 10.5 minutes left in the second term. Essendon lead by 11 points. And it was an 11-point margin at quarter time. Barnard and Cummings on the interchange bench for Essendon. And the player to bring the ball back in for St Kilda. Looks like it's Peckett. He's been the designated player along that line.
Somerville's been taken off, Barnard on.
So they're going to a star arrangement here with their kickoffs. Quite interesting, with a small mini huddle and then points all more southeast and west of the compass. So now Dennis Rich gets this underway again. And they get what they want. They want the next possession, and that's what they've got with Bardsley. Now they can run, and this is what they've done a few times. They've actually drawn that defence away, and there's been a hole and a free kick paid down the ground, not paid. Tony Brown gives it to Waitman. Waitman's in all sorts of trouble as he slips over and has to go for the sanctuary of the boundary line. And Peter Abbott just saying a few words to him there. I would hope they're encouraging words. Teammates talking together is all you should hear. Everett, that's better. Gives it off to Keogh. He loves to run. He's a smart player. Now he's put himself into a pocket because it's a great tackle from behind from Denham. Falls to Brown. Brown kicks around his body, and Pryor, that's a lovely mark falling back, and really did save the day for Essendon. Comes out wide to Barnard. That is the number 1.5. Cup, that is. Gives it off to Harvey. Smart kick that. Set up Simons. He's got a lot of space in front of him. This is where he has to make a decision on what to do first. He does it this time and kicks beautifully to Lucas. Lucas wants to play on because Shanahan fell over. Kicks back inside of the middle of the ground to McCurry. Oh, the sharpshooter kicks and has nailed it. No, he hasn't. He's nailed the top of the post. It was just coming back nicely, but unfortunately for him, just hit the post and grazed it really. 12-point margin to the Bombers.
Good example. It's a good setup from the half-back line, just using the ball properly. Players coming at you from the half-forward area in front. The ball's not going to bounce over your head. It's going to skid through into your body. Away you go.
The chase of Denham. Sensational.
Fantastic,
Keogh, wasn't it?
Keogh very brave to take a second bounce.
Yes, too true. The kick in, and it's going to be intercepted by Simons, but he couldn't take the mark. Daniels, as usual, hand pass away. Neal, a long kick towards half forward. Everett couldn't take the mark. The crumbs could be gathered by Nathan Burke. A little awkward. Little kick by Fletcher. Attack on Brown. Gathered by Everett. Fletcher goes in after it again. Very good second go at it. O'Donnell down by Everett. Is that a free kick? The umpire has blown his whistle, and he sees it that way. O'Donnell gets up quickly. Free kick to Essendon as a result of that tackle by Everett on the Essendon captain. 8 3/4 minutes left. It's Vasidi with the football. A high kick towards the wing. Barnard couldn't take the mark. Sirakoski back on the ground for St Kilda. Knocks it away over for a boundary throw-in. Essendon by 12 points. They are 6-4. St Kilda are 4-4. Essendon have 6 individual goal kickers. On the other hand, St Kilda, Robert Neal and Stuart Lowe, 2 apiece. Chris Danaher with the football in there underneath. Dragged it back in, and he's going to be penalised. Well, you're a bit stiff, Chris, but that's the way the rule states. The umpire has to interpret. And you are penalised. The free kick is with Harvey.
Robert Harvey. Just with his third kick, and he's had 4 handballs. So Everett and Fletcher, as they've done all night, hard at it. Thompson goes off the ground. It falls to Anderson, to Neal, and kicks standing still. Flyers wanted here. Doolan sitting underneath it, goes back to it. Everett runs at it, can't get hold of it. And Fletcher goes off the ground some 35 metres real far and a long way backwards. Interesting play there. 2 goals the margin. Just under 8 minutes in the second quarter. And the game just flattening out a bit now. The goals have just dried up for a while. Stewie Lowe kicks it, doesn't quite get hold of it. Brown, who's been active in these last few minutes. Bardsley ducks his head, and he's not penalised by Brian Shan. And another bounce will result some 30 metres from the St Kilda goal.
Somerville's back on, Barnard off, and on for St Kilda's Anthony Darcy.
Tapped over, players in underneath it. So just a bit of a stalemate here. And just a quick run from Barnard. Wasn't on for very long, Ross.
Well, I think Somerville had a bit of blood on the knees. Right knee strapped their body on. He had a bit of a cut.
Yep. Bounce again. Big punch away. Harvey the loose man here. Kicks it out wide. And another loose man back, Wakeland. Gives it over the top to Ozzie Jones, who's had a very good quarter, to Young. Sharing from St Kilda to Wakeland. Now Hall has in trouble. Gives it back to Daniels. Has to kick. Kick long to the front of the square. Players wanted. Big fellas. Lowe comes out to meet it hard. Neil. Back to Harvey. Harvey from 40 metres. Screws the ball around. Coming back hard. And is a goal. Great kick from Harvey. The Saints bring the margin back to just 6 points.
Yes, they won't give up, which is a good sign. They really got themselves back into the game in that second half of the first quarter, and they persisted in this quarter's bodies. So the game's a bit flat, a bit of a wrestle at the moment. But then Harvey getting distance like this from just a couple of steps, and the accuracy, just a great kick. Some people didn't read that too well.
Actually, a good handball out of there by Robert Neal too. Harvey had a little bit of space. Now a free kick from a centre infringement, centre square infringement, and it goes to St Kilda. Burke takes the hand pass and then kicks towards full forward, goes through Low. Pryor the handball, wide, too wide out there for Doolan, and a boundary throw-in will take place. Ben Doolan playing on centre wing, manning up with Ozzie Jones at this stage. 6.5 minutes left in the second term. Boundary throw-in, about 65 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Terrific courage shown by Bomber Thompson. I don't think we've ever doubted that in a career that is what, 200 games old now. Probably a couple of premierships amongst all that too. Ruck contest. Somerville runs away with the football and then kicks it 45 metres down towards the Essendon half-forward area. Wanganeen, pressured by Daniels, gets the handball away. Mercedes with a little bit of space. Kicks it back in the Cockatoo Collins direction. Gets rid of Joel Smith. Then on all fours. Gets the ball now to Lucas. Lucas into an open goal. Kicks and misses. So a couple of disappointing forays forward for Essendon. That one by young Lucas, resulting in just a behind. 6-5 to 5-4, and Peckett will bring it back for St Kilda.
Justin Peckett, designated kicker, goes to Young. He just slipped as he got it. Doolan tries to give it off, and Daniels comes in to help out. So slippy conditions there, just finding out the teammate as he tried to go back for that kick. Jason Daniels, 142 games. So second quarter, 7 points to the Bombers. Port Mercury didn't make any attempt, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt, and another bounce. Right on the 50-metre line, Essendon into attack. Vital stage now for both sides. Saints with the last goal, and Essendon looking for more. Well, I really would like to see them just give a free kick. I mean, you can't take the umpire's line.
But they just throw it in the air. That'll get the game going.
Yeah, well, it would. But we've talked about that before. This is an art, and it makes this game different to any other in the world. Now, I probably agree with you, though, brother. Anyhow, Matthew Young. O'Connor gives it off to Mercedes. That's a great handball off the ground. Terrific kick right at the front of the square. Peckett's there and good. Stands over the footy. Mercury caught. St Kilda with some numbers. Joel Smith, terrific handball to Sierakowski. Out to Daniels. Daniels onto his left foot. Unnatural kicks. Elliott makes the commitment with the body. Probably didn't need to, but the free kick's being given to him anyhow.
Play on. No, it's play on. There's no kick. Yep. Umpire Dennis Rich saying play on.
Okay, well, he's done exactly that now. And Pryor almost. Smith caught. Harvey hardly ever gets caught. Goes back onto his long side and kicks it to Everett. Now, Peter Everett had to go from here before and hooked it to the front of the square. So this distance tonight in this sort of air just may find him out. Virtually the same spot. Big flyers wanted. Neal almost over the back. And a free kick will go to Lowe as Berbikov is pulling him down.
No, it's going to Berbikov, I think, Mel. Yep, saying he was almost shepherded out of it.
You're quite right, Ross, too.
Here we go, just threw him down, so cool. Kept him out of You're not allowed to use your strength, no.
Well, I think he could see Robert Neal coming in from the left, and he was just keeping this kid out of the marking contest, and you wonder whether that's legal, even if he is stronger. So we differ on that one, boys. Never mind. Peter Somerville has taken the mark 50 metres from the St Kilda goal.
Gary Ablett would never kick the goal, Robbo, if that was the law.
Denham kicks in towards the centre. Cockatoo Collins. Mercury couldn't take the football with him. Darcy there. Now Bardsley tackled fiercely there by Simons. And the umpire will bounce. Michael Simons in picture, number 12 for Essendon. Umpire Dennis Rich to bounce. 3 minutes left in the first half. Essendon by 7 points. Lowe and Robert Neal have kicked 2 each for St Kilda. Robert Harvey has kicked 1. Darcy gets the handball to Young. In turn Burke. Burke's kick quickly towards the front of the goals. Lowe! Terrific mark. 35 metres out, directly in front.
For a fellow that size, Robert, to get that elevation and grab the ball with such clean skills. Terrific skill of the game. Berbatov trying to give himself a run, but the ball just dropping a little more quickly than he anticipated. Just going to do in these conditions.
Well, it'll be a 1-point game if Stuart Lowe can convert here. And you're just about back it in. His kicking for goal has improved. And give him a rap. And he misses. 2 goals for to Stuart Lowe. 5-5 to 6-5. Essendon by a goal with 2.5 minutes left in the second term. And Mark Fraser preparing to come back onto the ground for the Bombers. Dustin Fletcher to kick it back in.
Comes out wide. Berbatov holds his ground very well indeed, and there's a good mark. Tony Brown, obviously smaller. Now kicks, comes along the wing. Sit and wait. Aussie Jones over the top. Oh, this has played terrifically, Jones. Burke's been good too. And some of these smaller St Kilda players now starting to share the ball. Denham. Back to O'Donnell, and O'Donnell with just some coolness kicks the ball forward. Mercedes waits for it. Terrific handball to Durham. Really has set him up here, and the kick forward. A lot of one-on-ones down there and a fantastic punt. O'Connor has to turn, pick the ball up. Terrific pressure from behind from Peckett. Playing it well. Well played, both players. And then Wakeland hangs on a bit longer than he should have, but still no free kick. And I really think it was the contest of the first 2.
Dillon just feeling the effects of being contacted after he kicked the ball. Here's the pressure again by Peckett. Mel, you're right there. Lucky by Wakeland not to be pinged.
Ball kept in by Mercedes and over by Newell. I mean, that's just the intelligent way for both players to do it, wasn't it? One knew he was going to be hot if he picked it up, and the other fellow just didn't quite grab him. Just smacked his arm rather than grabbed it. Somerville, terrific handball to Danaher. He sneaks around the corner and hooks it. And I think it's home. The players are happy and the goal umpire's happy. So Chris Danaher.
It was a good kick, wasn't it?
Yes, gets a late goal in the second quarter, and the Bombers increase their margin to 8 points.
It's an important kick, and just
12 points. Being
around the area there to get that back, coming around and around, and just willed it through. Fantastic effort. He did a big job to do on Harvey. Harvey's had 5 and 4. Chris Danaher 8 and 2.
Well, he's quite a skillful player, Chris Danaher, and he does it well for Essendon's 7th goal. They lead by 12 points. Somerville gets it down to Danaher. Not able to control the football. Thompson there to give him a bit of a help out. Now it's gathered by Burke. He's had a lot of the football, Nathan Burke. He gets it to Harvey. Harvey able to run away and slip the tackle of Simons. 2 bounces. He's going to set this up. Bounce it again. He will. And from 50 metres, in goes Robert Harvey. Terrific individual effort, but it only results in a behind.
Oh, exciting stuff.
A letdown there because the build-up was quite sensational by Robert Harvey. And all fans, Essendon, St Kilda combined, would have been happy with that. Harvey marks the kick in. 7-5 to 5-6. Essendon by 11 points. Countdown close to half-time. Bomber Thompson is wide at half-back. He kicks it down the wing. Simons has taken the mark. Essendon would be a chance to score with a couple more clean possessions. Simons kick in towards centre-half forward. In front, Wakeland. O'Connor from behind. Gatherers by Keogh. Handball out into the path of Daniels. He gets around onto his right. Nice hand pass to Young. He had to sit and wait, but he's able to gather and then kick out towards the wing. Oh, great leap and mark there by Jamie Elliott. Just seconds left. The ball in the middle of the ground, marked by Tony Brown for St Kilda. He can move it on, but no time left. The mark is taken by Aussie Jones, but that is the siren to end the second term, and at half-time Essendon lead 7-5-47 to St Kilda 5-6-36. For St Kilda, 2 goals each to Neil and Lowe, and for Essendon they are all singles.
Interesting too, Robbo, the margin's still now 11 points, and I mean, at times you thought the game swung back in Essendon's favour early in that quarter, and then the Saints came back again, and it just that seesaw quarter.
Well, I think that from Essendon's point of view, they would be reasonably happy. I mean, both sides have had quite a lot of the football. You're looking there, Ross, you brought it up, I think, to take a bit of a note there, that there's been a lot of possessions by either side, a lot of perhaps turnovers, a lot of perhaps indirect play, and Essendon, with an advantage of 11 points, they'd have to be reasonably satisfied.
Yes, they would. It was a good effort by St Kilda to come back. Just an important miss by Stuart Lowe may have made it closer, but half-time, that's it. 11 points of difference, Mel.
Yes. St Kilda 5-6-36. Essendon 7-5-47. The margin 11 points at half-time here at Waverley. So all is in readiness now for the second half. Saturday night football. The Bombers lead by 10 points over the Saints. Ball put down in the middle. Ruckman go at it. Working his way through the pack is Harvey. Elliott caught in a tackle from Harvey. That is Harvey Mark, variety from Essendon. And a rebound in the centre square area. Nathan Burke, leading possession winner on the ground. Vidovic and Somerville. Tap forward. Players run hard. Simon's fresh man on. Wants some help. Darcy, Anthony gives it off. Bardsley now has to kick quickly as the players run at him. And kicks to the interchange area on centre wing. And Christian Bardsley, former North Melbourne player. And has been a handy pickup for the Saints side.
Just a little difference there, Malcolm, that I've noticed, that the ability of the St Kilda players, Bardsley not able to put it on his left foot, maybe to the advantage of the team further down the ground.
Yes, could very well have been. Just Mercedes, Court gives it off. Harvey running still with Danaher. Keogh, Harvey gets it out. Matthew Young's been a good pickup also. And Anthony Darcy tries to tap it back to Bardsley, does it very well indeed, but gives up the footy to Mercedes, and Mercedes gives it off to Denham.
Now Denham's forced to kick with his right foot, and there's an indication. He gets 40 metres up to the 50-metre line for the Bombers. Close to the line it goes over in front of Gavin Wanganeen and Wakeland. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Brian Wood giving some instructions there to Gavin Wanganeen. Boundary umpire will throw it in between right half forward and right forward pocket for Essendon. From this boundary throw in, Essendon would be a chance to score. O'Connor gets his right hand to it. Good tackle there on Mercury. And another equally as good a tackle, Chris Danaher's on Robert Harvey. And Danaher's being rewarded. Roscoe, how did you see that? I mean, well, I thought maybe that could have been play on.
Well, that's the interpretation there, as they've brought in this year, Robbo, is that the player tries to break free. He had a chance to get rid of it before he tackled. He tried to break through the tackle of Danaher, got pinged.
Well, Chris Danaher, certainly a chance here. The angle is a difficult one, but the kick is an absolute magnificent kick. Second goal to Chris Danaher. Gee, that's top stuff by Chris Danaher to get his second and Essendon's 8th, and importantly, the first goal of the third quarter to the Bombers.
Yes, we'll see this again, Robert. He grabs the footy, takes a few strides, trying to break free. They're probably saying he had a chance to handball or kick the ball. He's going against where he should have been in terms of direction toward goal. But Danaher doing the right thing and being right alongside him.
Well, Dennis Rich puts the ball down back in the middle. This time Vidovic gets his right hand on it. And Anthony Darcy in on hands and knees, working hard underneath. Mercedes, another possession. Hits it out wide in the Doolan direction. Newell with him. Pretty good contest here. Harvey just off the pack. Now comes into assist. Mercury tries to tap it back. Oh, terrific stuff there from St Kilda to work it forward. Neil kicks it to Smith, and young Matthew Young, that was just terrific stuff again. And Mark Harvey thumps it out of bounds. So halves, 9 kicks and 2 marks. The boundary throw in right on centre wing. And the Bombers by 17 points. Keogh and Danaher do the ruck work. Coming over the back is Thompson. Freed up Harvey with Danaher doing that ruck work. Puts it in the path of Neil. Neil now swings the ball back into the forward line. Low looking for, trying to find him, can't. Somerville at the back of the pack, kicks out very wide. All St Kilda here. This is Anthony Darcy really putting in some long strides. Will have some time and space to work in. Now is indecisive, goes back with the handle. It's a loopy one. Barnsley has to put himself under pressure too, but he swings back, takes a bounce, now kicks long, and the ball, once again, a big pack of players. Low, 2 hands on it, Mercedes there to help out. Danaher's got it, breaks away and relieves the game to Pryor.
Gee, St Kilda very predictable when they go forward. It's only Stuart Lowe that they've got to kick to. And Essendon able to mop up with regular monotony, really. This is Cockatoo Collins. His kick in towards the centre of the ground, punched away from Mercury. Darcy, now Cockatoo Collins again. It may go forward here. Buick able to get his kick away to the 50-metre line. Punch back towards the centre of the ground. Brown, free kick to Essendon.
Being held on to, the umpire saying. Daniels against Wanganeen.
Wanganeen quickly towards full forward, and Simons is out in front and has taken the mark. And Daniels just having a bit of a chat back to Wanganeen there. Maybe Gavin Wanganeen giving him a little bit of verb about the free kick that he received, resulting in this kick from Michael Simons. St Kilda have made a change.
Elliott off and Sierakowski on.
And Simons has a chance here. He could make that gap in the game 25 points, 23 points if he can kick this. 8-5 to 5-6. Simons with that, what we've come to expect now, the long run up, the long kick to the goal line is offline, and just a behind to Simons. So Essendon lead by 3 goals, 8-6 to 5-6. 16 minutes left in the third quarter. And Peckett, the short kick in is effective, and the mark is taken by Shanahan.
Jamie Shanahan chips to Darcy. Wants players, uses his handball a lot. Now back to Shanahan, running under the 50-metre line, kicks into the centre of the ground. Players can't get hold of it, falls over the back. Ozzie Jones taps it out. Burke caught, gets a kick away, sorts, goes to O'Donnell. Gary O'Donnell stands, waits, a la Fremantle. Now comes wide and has Simons, the player who just had that shot of goal. He wants to go direct, can't, it's blocked for room, then does a beautiful kick to Cummings. Terrific kick. And I must admit that point, Ian, was as good a kick I've seen Simons kick. It spun beautifully, just missed, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was a lovely kick, really.
He probably thought he could kick it from where he was, but just missing.
Scott Cummings, who is a long kick, hasn't kicked a goal tonight. The Essendon's leading goal kicker at 26 for the season. And historically, when Shooty's been there, he goes for the pass to Mercury, and that's terrific. You know, 60 or 70 sees most Essendon leading goal kickers out, so he really does believe in alternate forwards kicking goals.
Well, there's been a couple of successful clubs over the years that haven't really been all that concerned about their leading goal kickers being up around the 100 mark. I mean, I think it's a while since the Blues have had a 100 goal a year full forward, and they've won a couple of flags.
So Mark Mercury kicked a goal in the first quarter, now kicking from 50. That's swinging back and just swinging too much. Another point result. He's kicked 1 goal 3, so at the other end of the ground, Stewie Lowe with 2 goals 4 points, and Mark Mercury 1 goal 3, and the margin back to 17 points.
Yeah, it's interesting, the flags on the outer side of the ground don't really indicate that there's a lot of breeze blowing, but quite a few shots at goal that look so simple have missed. Brown sweeping that hand pass into Sierakowski. Oh, terrific stuff, Harvey. Straight at him and smothered the football. Still St Kilda try to force it forward. That's a free kick against Thompson. And Nathan Burke will get 50 metres. Now, that interpretation is, first of all, the free kick. What is the 50 metres for?
Well, before that was reportable last year, what they've done is changed the rule now to stop blokes tripping out in the ground 50 metres.
And I think fair enough, because Burke now, well, he's probably still a little bit too far out. You would think Nathan Burke is a fairly good kicker of the football, but he's going to have to kick this 50 metres to score a goal for St Kilda. Look at those stats. We're only into the third quarter. Not even up to halfway mark of the third term, and he's had 20 touches already. His kick will land in the square, punched away from Lowe. At the front of the pack, Robert Neal gives it away. Keogh a little high, hand pass a little too fierce, And away go Essendon. Harvey from centre-half back. All of a sudden, the turnover is costly. Wanganeen has the football in the middle of the ground. His kick is a little high for Buick. Punched away by Peckett. Buick goes in again. So does Peckett. Free kick to St Kilda. Holding on.
Yes, Robert.
And the recipient is Jason Daniels. Wide hand pass to Bardsley. Bardsley forced to kick high. Not all that accurate. Doolan onto it. Gives away a little ground. Neal. Little one away from Mercedes. Good force forward by Darcy. Anderson to gather. Slips over. Still St Kilda have possession. Away to Robert Neal. Robert Neal close to the boundary line at right half forward. Kicks in towards the Stuart Low area. Is he going to be paved down the ground?
There's a free kick back behind play, Robbo. The Essendon player was crashed into. I think it was Michael Simons. Or was it? No, it's Doolan, I think it is.
So it's an Essendon free kick. And it's Doolan to kick the Bombers forward to left half forward.
Yeah, a fair bit happening off the ball here. There's been just 3 or 4 decisions now in the last few minutes that
was well away from the ball, though.
Yeah, just players getting a bit frustrated, perhaps. The game's not quite flowing like it did earlier, as Essendon lead by 19 points. Wakeman and O'Connor to Young. Gives it back to Daniels. Daniels swings the ball around. One-on-one contest here. Over the back is Thompson. Puts his head over the footy like good players do. Really worked hard then. Essendon deserved this because one bloke put his head on the line. Sets up Harvey, and Harvey goes direct to centre-half forward. Flyers want it. Cockatoo Collins can't grab hold of it. Young, quite a clever player, grabbed high and called as of holding the ball. Unbelievably now goes forward. Shanahan over his head. Peckett there. Buick chases with hard and with pressure. Gives it to Young. Young running out on the wing. Now has a player in Everett running at him, and pretty good kick. Fletcher from behind gives him a nudge, and Burke and Pry come hard to the boundary line in what was a pretty good contest by those two players. Now just having a look at this, certainly grabbed high. Unbelievable. Gee whiz. Sometimes costly too. I mean, they got away with it, but it certainly could have been costly. Vidovic on the boundary line will get the free in the ruck work.
Do you think you ever find if a game has stop-start a little bit like this where there's no flow, the umpires find it difficult too maybe to get into it?
Oh, great jump from low. Falls to Harvey. Now, he was held on twice.
Oh.
Still no free kick. So, I mean, players will start to get confused at this as we have this patch at centre-half forward. And
now, that's an experienced umpire down there, Dennis Rich. And there are a couple of free kicks where it was so obvious. Where we are 500 metres away, wasn't looking at the monitor, you could see it from here.
Are you in Wellington Road?
I was before.
Falls to Anderson. Anderson kicks it forward. Fletcher comes out and just throws the boot at it. Happy to get some space away from the goals. Simons will be first there. Keogh comes hard. Simons cleverly off the ground. He's tripped, but no free kick either. Because anything that's not... Simons... I've actually lost the plot here for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think sometimes... Well, it happens to everyone, don't you reckon? I mean, the crowd can't get involved. The umpires can't get involved. The players are having a bit of difficulty. There just is no flow whatsoever. I guess they're both teams, you mentioned even in the preview, that they're fighting very, very hard for these 4 points. Essendon get the ball to half forward. Cockatoo Collins. Bardsley kept him off the football. Wanganeen missed it altogether, but he went after it. His second go at it was terrific. The St Kilda boys looking for the free kick. They appeal, and he's out. Shanahan takes the ball away, kicks it straight out to where Essendon, through Mark Harvey, will gather and just kick it back to where it came from. Not with a kick, but with a handball. Doolan, short kick. Buick, they may even get a goal out of this. Buick back onto his right foot, will sweep it in towards centre-half forward. Looking for Somerville. Oh, he was third in line. Simons dashing straight in from 30 metres, and Simons has kicked a goal for the Bombers. Amazing stuff, because St Kilda, I forget who it was, Roscoe, that kicked the ball back out. Was it one of their bigger players where Harvey got it?
Yes.
Shanahan.
And so I was just saying before, it's amazing when you're playing, if it's like a training, if mistakes start happening in training, it can run right through the side. Is it happening with umpires as well? So they sort of, if things are a bit stop-start. It's a great pick-up there by Simons. But it has been an untidy game.
Well, Essendon have got a bit of a break now. 25 points, 61 plays, 36, halfway through the third quarter. Very important that St Kilda get the next goal.
Anderson, they work it out. I mean, they've really had some chances up forward. Thompson saw behind the ground, and Everett taps it back to himself like a basketball, and now pressurised. Harvey, head over the footy, wants to get in and out of traffic, kicks the ball forward, and coming to meet it, O'Donnell gets an awkward bounce. Low, strong, fantastic, sets up Tony Brown, and Brown just squeezed it as the Essendon player came in pretty good pressure, and only a point result. And now the margin 4 goals exactly, 24 points. And young Tony Brown with a great handball then from Stewie Lowe.
Yes, he just tipped himself to that side, Mel, just expecting the contact, and in doing so pushed the ball to the right-hand side.
So 9 3/4 minutes left in the third quarter as Dustin Fletcher prepares to kick it back in. Goes into the left back pocket area, and the mark is taken there by Berbatov. Goes along that boundary line out towards half-back. Doolan dragged off the football by Darcy, and the umpire sees that as all clear. Please throw it in. Play about 65 to 70 metres around from the St Kilda goal. They're going down to the main scoreboard end here at Waverley. They've really struggled to get a score on the board, the Saints. The Essendon defence working overtime. Darcy's hand pass is not bad. Brown in strike ball. Great tackle provided there by Pryor. Brown again for St Kilda in towards full forward. Good play there by the young Essendon defender in Berbatov to punch it away from Lowe, and eventually it's over for a boundary throw in, and Russell Morris has got a boundary line report.
Yes, Robbo. Bomber Thompson just came up with a damaged arm. We're not too sure what it is. It could be a broken wrist or something like that, but we're just having a look at it at the moment, so I'll report a bit further.
Yes, he really did hit the ground very hard. Harvey breaks through the pack, gives it to Burke, and a certain goal of the Saints. So Beck's much badly needed goal there from St Kilda. They're first in this third quarter.
Low, it's, you know, the big fellas around the middle of the ground, Vidovic doing the ruck work, and they certainly need, this is Sirakoski about to do the ruck work now for the Saints, Vidovic having a spell. But there's only 3 goals in this match, and it's a low-scoring game, so St Kilda are still well in it. Keogh from the centre, just kicks towards the front of the goals. Brown couldn't take the mark. Everett tackle on Fletcher. Brown gets in to get the crumbs. Harvey there to contest for Essendon, and he locks it up at centre-half forward for St Kilda, about 35 to 40 metres from the Saints' goal. 9-7 to 6-7, and you can see there 8.5 minutes left in the third term, and Big Everett to do the ruck work. Somerville knocked forward by Burke. Harvey, creative as ever. You're in trouble, Barry Hall. Mercedes. Oh, Rob, Harvey. Can he shrug the O'Donnell tackle? Is going to be penalised. Similar to the incident earlier, which was in the back pocket for St Kilda. And Chris Danaher kicked the goal as a result of it. Doolan for Essendon. A high kick out towards centre wing. Sirakoski goes back. And away goes Somerville. A little kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. Good tackle by Mercury, yes, I would agree. He didn't make any attempt to get rid of it, Rod Keogh.
He's only played going for the ball, Robert.
He laid on top of the ball. You've got to make an effort, surely to goodness. Mercury, his kick towards centre-half forward. Jostling, Shanahan, knocks it in front of himself. Wanganeen, Daniels, Wanganeen looks for the free kick. Nothing there. Still Pryor forces it forward. Wanganeen again, somehow gets a right foot to it. Importantly, Cummings to the goal front. Now, a marking contest here. Peckett punches it from behind. Buick off the ground. Rush it through does Justin Peckett for a behind to Essendon. 9-8 to 6-7. 19 points is Essendon's advantage with 7 minutes left in the third term.
Justin Peckett to bring it back in. And Keogh breaks. Now Young. Now Anderson. So third time lucky then, as the players peel off from those star-shaped kick-off.
Free kicks at the moment, Mel, 21 to 11 in favour of Essendon.
Yes, you thought it might be going that way, didn't you, without just a fooling looking at the game. Big kick away, can't get hold of it. Harvey, can't catch him, will get caught holding the ball. Ball stays in almost as Harvey, and that's it's just interesting that propping and popping that Robert Harvey does. I mean, occasionally he's going to get caught holding the footy. Yep. And I mean, a lot of times he gets through, and the only reason why he stopped on that last one was he got grabbed on the leg and thought it'd be his free kick.
Exactly.
So I think you've got to buy that with a player like that. Ruck contest. Balls to Simons. He's caught as he ducks back. Mercedes unloads it to Fraser. This goes back inside, and O'Donnell, the skipper, has it. Peels away into his left foot, kicks across to centre half forward. That's a beautiful kick to Mercury. Has the players running for him now. Berbatov from full back. Fantastic smother from Anthony Darcy. Super smother. Caught. Jones to Burke. And this is a huge turnover because Keogh's free. If he can grab hold of it, just couldn't get his body right in line with it and made a real mozza of it. And another bounce just on the point of the square in a fantastic effort from Anthony Darcy, former Geelong. Footscray, Port Adelaide, and now at St Kilda. So he really looks lively since he's been on. He's been in and underneath and had a lot of handballs. Low with a clever tap down to Burke. Newell smacks it forward. Players want to read it. Socking off the ground is Fletcher, and the ball goes back to Jones and Pryor. Coming in to meet it, Mercury throws it out. Absolutely throws it out, but that's fair enough. Umpire blindside to Pryor. Pryor kicks long. Over the back to Buick. The goal-kicking specialist kicks and has missed. So quick transference of play from one end to the other, and Darren Buick just missing, not by much, and 1 goal 2 for Darren Buick tonight.
You know, sometimes when you're listening to the football on the radio, you can't believe that the ball can go from one end of the ground to the other so quickly, but when you watch it at the football, it just goes unbelievably. This is a poor kick here, a poor defensive kick. And Cockatoo Collins is marked 50 metres from goal. Who kicked that in, Ross?
Unfortunately, Jason Daniels was trying to bring the ball back inside to find Wakeland. Miscued. And Cockatoo Collins just chipped in.
I think the same thing happened at a critical stage of the Richmond-Carlton game today, where young Rogers was trying to do something similar. And Williams took a mark, and the turnover went down into the square, and the Blues got a goal. Well, Cockatoo Collins is questioning here just where the man on the mark is standing. Umpire has just been in there to tell him exactly where it is. Now he kicks to the front of the goal square. Up high there was Somerville, and the ball spills over for a boundary throw-in in the right forward pocket for the Bombers. They lead by that bare margin, 20 points, but in the context, we might really have a...
Amazingly, here at Waverley, in round 10, St Kilda playing Essendon in Saturday night football, there has been some sort of power failure.
When we were so rudely interrupted, Essendon led St Kilda by 20 points. Tonight, the game concludes. Welcome to Waverley for Essendon and St Kilda for part 2 of an amazing AFL Centenary Highlights.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Waverley Park for this historic occasion. It's St Kilda against Essendon. The score in the third quarter was 6-7 St Kilda and 9-9 Essendon. Tonight, 2 12-minute and a little bit extra plus time on halves will be played. So Essendon certainly in the driving seat. As we look at the ladder, we see that the Bombers, after 3 consecutive wins going into this round 10 match, are in the 8. A win tonight put them above Adelaide and West Coast. The Saints have struggled a little bit in the last couple of weeks. They need a win to go above Richmond. Well, Malcolm Blight, you're out here under different circumstances on Saturday night. We're much more confident tonight we're going to get through. There's been a few changes. We did expect them. Let's start with St Kilda. They've made 4.
Yeah, McLean, Wakeland, Lappin and Cripps come in, and you see those outs there. And to me, that's about a status quo situation, roughly about the same ability-wise. Yeah,
Surakowski and Hall, we believe, injured, so a bit of and Anderson missing out. But a different story for Essendon, where some high-profile players, including Hurd, coming back in.
Yes, Hurd, Alessio, Calthorpe, terrific players, and those outs. That is a certain plus for Kevin Sheedy in Essendon.
And Morgan and Blumfield have both come in late, since 4 o'clock. Danaher misses out with Dool and Cockatoo Collins. Thompson, who was injured on Saturday night, and Cummings. So that's the situation. James Hurd is playing along with Stephen Alessio. So plenty of changes to both of the lineups. It's a pretty good crowd here. Both teams are out on the ground. Back with the opening bounce after this. And Panozzo. So 5 changes to both teams. Welcome Robbo to the telecast. 2 halves here. Essendon lead 9-9 to 6-7. Somerville ran into the umpire, didn't get an opportunity. Daniels kicks to half forward. First goal is going to be vital here. Mark taken by Fraser at half back. So 5 changes to both teams. James Hird out on the ground. Fraser goes wide, gets his man in Pryor, runs away. Good crowd here on a very still, calm but cold night. Buick brilliantly at 55. Kicks the ball out of bounds on the full. And the Saints to bring her back in. Robbo, welcome.
Good on you, Bruce, and continuation of an historical evening that we witnessed here on Saturday night. Malcolm.
Yes, it was indeed, Ian, wasn't it?
Oh, dear me. Well, the lights are on and the football's very, very much in the action here. Barnard's kick could be marked by Simons. Missed it altogether. Joel Smith. Hand pass goes to Shanahan. Shanahan gets the ball towards centre wing. A real contest there. Fletcher fell over. Everett keeps his footing. But is he agile enough? He kicks it over on the full. Not quite good enough there by Peter Everett. Idea wasn't bad, but execution 2 out of 10. Harvey with the football. He's at right half back. The ball is probably 2.5 kicks from the St Kilda goal. He goes in towards centre half back and Berbakoff has taken the mark. Youngsters being tried out in this match. Justin Bloomfield. Danny Morgan, who's already played a few games for the Bombers. There's a mark taken by Somerville. Somerville is on centre wing. Will put Essendon into their attacking half. The kick is not bad. Oh, Alessio's nearly plucked it out of the air. It's been paid. Top effort by Stephen Alessio. And he's taken the mark about 50 metres from goal.
Gee, what a terrific hit out this will be for him too, and Hird, coming back from injury, he's just a key player to them at centre-half forward.
Watched a little bit of him in the reserves on Saturday before the senior game, and it didn't look too bad. So here he is in the seniors for this 30 minutes of football. Is that a score? No, it's out on the full. So the kicking so far in this match, maybe the boys are just a little excited because they want to get into it pretty quickly. There's not much time to warm up in what's it going to be, about 32 minutes of football.
Probably. Actually 24 minutes of playing time, of course, with time on, when they're actually not doing anything.
Cripps, one of the late inclusions for St Kilda, along with Matthew Young, not named at the 4 o'clock situation. Harvey. Here's Young away. Saints need a positive thrust. They trail by 20 points. Everett's got it. Long way from goal. Lowe now leads. Everett tries to get it to him. Gets to 50. There's a free kick coming up. And it's going to St Kilda and going to Stuart Lowe.
Yes, amazing, Bruce. All the St Kilda players forward ran forward then. They're really going to try and win this.
Lowe's kick will get within about 10 metres of the goal. Big fly from the side. Kick clear and might be a goal there to Brown. He's got it. It's what the match needed. The Saints to get the first. And suddenly that scoreboard tightens. 7-7 to 9-9.
Yes, amazing. We just mentioned all the St Kilda players ran forward. I think they're really trying to get after this. There's a little nudge onto Lowe, which was pretty soft indeed. But the kick comes to the top of the square. Players everywhere. Simons almost goes to Brown, and both Essendon players, Harvey and Buick, appealed. Play on. Goal.
Well, it's a goal. No doubt about that. It's on the scoreboard. Chance again for the Saints. Not able to break clear. This is Lappin, beaten for it by Buick. Buick finds a bit of space and then kicks with the left foot towards half forward. Chopped off by Shanahan. Just transfers play a little bit. Wakeland. Kick towards the wing. The mark is taken by Ozzie Jones. Looks to play on. Gives the handball over the top. Daniels gives it back to the better kick, but he's tackled well. Ozzie Jones. Handball away. Chance there for Mark Fraser. Handball to Kelthorpe. Then to Harvey. Harvey's kick to a vacant wing area. It'll bounce close to the line and trundle over for a throw-in.
Yes, important matchup. Sean Denham playing on Nathan Burke, who was almost pitched on ground on the original game, Ian.
I just couldn't quite pick it up, Bruce, but number 42, McLean, is in this St Kilda team as well. So the 3 emergencies are all in the team at the expense of, looks like, Trianides, Anderson, and if we can pick up the 3rd one who's missing, it might be Vidovic, is it? Could be Lazar Vidovic, who may be missing.
And Kelthorpe running with Robert Harvey.
Denham's got Burke, Malcolm. McLean lays it down towards Keogh. Young, Keogh again at half forward. Everett punches forward. Pryor going to ground with Somerville. Pryor's hands okay to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Harvey. Gone. Just gets the handball to Berber. took off under pressure. Kick away. Brown couldn't smother. Chance for Fraser and Hurd. They've got a panic. Hurd can give it off to Simons. Does now. This could be a telling moment. Simons a fair way from goal. Swings the handball back into Barnard. Barnard goes back to Simons. Kicks from 50. It's sailing close. It might be a behind. Just going away at the last moment for Simons. And Essendon move up to 9 goals, 10 to 7-7. So the margin is 15 points.
Not really a scoring in, do you think? That breeze looks as though it's
just floating our way a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, not all that much in it. So this is Young. He's a good kick of the football, Matthew Young. He finds his target with excellent precision. It's Nathan Burke. Burke's kick is high towards half forward. St Kilda mark taken by Daryl Wakeland. Gets the hand pass away, and it's easily chopped off by Michael Pryor. Knocked over for a boundary throw-in.
But that's what they've got to do, Ian. If they're going to win this coming from behind, they've got to take a few risks to win it. And that's certainly one of them.
Well, it's all or nothing as far as St Kilda are concerned. Maybe the Bombers. Well, they were guarding a 20-point advantage at the start of the match. It's back down to 14, 15. 8 minutes left. Burke knocked off the football there by Michael Simons. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Sean Denham picking himself up and dusting himself down. That redhead there is McLean, who was one of the emergencies. Up against O'Connor in the ruck. McLean gets his hand to it. Kelthorpe gets it to Simons. Not quite far enough. Burke run down by Mercury, but he's able to get his kick away. Not all that effective. Gathered about 30 metres for the Saints. And it's a boundary throw-in right half forward, nearly up to the 50-metre line for St Kilda. In their forward half, certainly. So they're a chance to score again here.
Somerville and Everett. Calthorpe's handball to Mercury, to Denham, back to Hurd, round the corner, Young in the front spot, punches away, free kick to Mercury. And just for those statisticians out there, I'm going to tell you that the three-quarter time score will officially be 7-7 to 9-10. When the record book goes down, we're now at three-quarter time. It had to be after 4 minutes 48 plus some time on. It's all too confusing, I know. O'Connor's got it at centre wing. But what's good about it, we do have a live contest.
Yes, I think it was important that St Kilda get the first goal. And if they could get another one, but that's a terrific mark from behind McLean by Somerville. I think it was mentioned on Saturday night, a much improved player, and he's certainly an important part of this Essendon lineup in their quest for success this year. Mark taken by Fraser. In goes Fraser, and he's put it through for a goal to the Bombers. Very important answering goal there. St Kilda got the first goal of this first half of the additional 24 minutes plus time on, but Essendon hit back.
Here's Somerville going in the Hurd direction and beautifully chipped off in front by Fraser. Hit the ground running and made no mistakes. So we're really back status quo. In fact, the Bombers 1 point to their better off, or much better off, yeah.
We know what you mean, Blighty.
Yeah, I was just
7-7 to 10-10. So Fraser's goal, a body blow now. Denham, Burke to Young. Well done. To Harvey, that's what they've got to do, break lines. Harvey should go on here. Everett's going to provide a shepherd. Could he take the man on? He's in trouble now, Harvey. Back to Young. Young's hands are okay. Everett, can he trap it? Can't. They may still have an opportunity. Pushes it forward. The Bombers may hold them up. Brown, Pryor. It'll be a bounce. Just got disorientated, didn't he, Harvey? Ran out of ideas in the end. He had the ball for too long. Trying to draw someone to him.
He was lucky he didn't get penalised.
Yeah, he had it a long time. Inside 50, St Kilda attacking. Fraser kicked a goal for Essendon. Keogh's shot, low, gets set. Jones at the front. Smith, Jones, left foot. It's a behind. So now, Malcolm, we're exactly back to where we were. It's a 20-point game.
Yes, the throw still saw from Saturday night. Interesting, I mean, they really are taking some chances. I mentioned St Kilda, which they've got to. And running forward, there's only 2 players back over the centre square for Essendon.
So the kick in has been marked by James Hurd. Doesn't he look such a composed athlete, James Hurd? St Kilda fans booing him because obviously they feel that it's not justified that he be in the lineup. But, well, the rules were set down. And he's out there in an Essendon jumper. And he'll have something to do with the contribution here, I would think, if the Bombers are to win this game. Play on now, Daniels kicks across his left shoulder. And that's a good diving effort by young Brown. He kicked St Kilda's goal early in this first half. Nathan Burke's kick across his body. There's a free kick down the ground. No, play on. Up by Dennis Rich. Throwing his hands in the air. O'Donnell caught. Berbakoff's handball. Here's Aussie Jones. What can he do? Give it to Matthew Young. Oh, set it up and sit underneath it. Stuart Lowe, he did. Somehow manufactured a kick, and Everett's on the end of it. So the Saints have a chance to get a goal back here and bring the margin back to 14 points. And wouldn't it be exciting if they can just get up there near the Bombers?
Yes, it's quite a good crowd here too. There's probably 15, I reckon over 15,000 people here, which is amazing.
Well, the people in the local area, they get in for nothing, so you might as well come and see some good football. And Peter Everett has kicked a goal for St Kilda.
Into 8-8, Everett's goal, closing it again. As Malcolm said, vital that the Saints get the next one. McLean, Lappin. It's okay to Keogh, who can thump the ball, measures it to Lowe, sets himself, Hurd front spot, Everett at the back, trying to go through Neil. Berbakoff in there. It'll be a bounce, but it's at St Kilda's end.
Bruce, there hasn't been a ball go out wide to the kick. It's been to the big fellas, Everett or Lowe. They're not mucking around.
And they've put themselves in the contest. Everett been important here. Masidi, under pressure, gave it up. Harvey, still Harvey, can't quite. Trying to crash through. Here's McCurry. And is it a free kick? I'm not sure. McCurry coming back to Pryor. Kibbe's off a bit, and Pryor now to slow it. Umpire just letting him know. Dennis Rich asking Stewie Lowe maybe to come back.
It's all duck or no dinner for St Kilda, isn't it? I mean, they faced a 20-point deficit. They came out here with every chance to win the game, and the Bombers protecting a 20-point lead.
It's almost where we started when the ball finished the other night, when you were calling.
Interestingly, yes.
So Pryor will go long and gets it outside 50. O'Connor, Wakeland from the side, no mark to Simons. To ground, Harvey, well done Harvey. Good handball inboard. Bardsley under pressure. Daniels goes back. Opportunity now. It's close, just missing Jones. So he's kicked two behinds, young Aussie. And the Saints 8-9 to 10-10.
You like the look of him, Aussie Jones? He's not built all that big, but
terrific mover, isn't he? Just great awareness. And look at him, real skinny kid still, isn't he?
Oh, keen as mustard too, I would say. Him and Joel Smith, players of the future for St Kilda, and one of the players of the future for Essendon. Oh, Michael Pryor's given it up. Mark is taken by Lowe. If it's not a mark, it would be a free kick, you would have to suggest.
Here go all the St Kilda players running forward again.
Is the short pass on? Yes. Oh no, Stuart Lowe not all that confident there. So he's going back to bomb it to the front of the square. Where is Everett? At the back. Alessio, Somerville, O'Donnell. Bit of composure there, Fraser. Back to Berbakoff. He missed it altogether. Fraser did well to find some space and get the kick back to the wing. Mark taken by Hurd. Look at that positive bit of football by James Hurd. He kicks the ball to full forward. Oh, no mark. Play on, Buick not paid. Back after it again. Looking for the free kick. The ball spills for McLean. McLean able, yes, just to tap it on. Chance now for Lappin. He's ducked to the ground and a free kick has been picked out. It's Brian Sheen indicating maybe it's not Lappin. It's gone back a little bit further to... Yes, it is Lappin. Well, I was a bit with you, Bruce. I thought maybe there might have been a free kick a little bit earlier than that. But Lappin kicks St Kilda down towards the wing where Keogh is marked.
Getting some touches, Keogh, and tries to take his man on. Doesn't do it particularly well. Masidi holds it up. But it's very evident the Saints' tactics here and their philosophy. Move it at all costs. Keogh again inside 50. Fletcher attacks. Well done. They couldn't quite put a tackle on him. Back into the centre. Bad mistake made there by Bardsley. Wanganeen gets it. Could finish. Keeps it low. Good looking kick. It's there. Well done.
Smart play by Wanganeen. He kicked a goal like that on Saturday night.
He did down the other end, yes. Actually, one of the interesting things was actually Everett and Lowe swapped then from full forward to centre-half forward. Fletcher went back and read it better than the big fella Everett, got caught behind and really has set up this play. That would have been obviously worked out before. They do it in a lot of games, but Everett just didn't read that kick coming in.
So Gavin Wanganeen, 2 goals for this game.
And amongst the votes
how far
too.
apart are they? 72 hours.
He'd be amongst the votes too, Ian, wouldn't he?
Oh, my word, he was very good early in that game on Saturday night. Instrumental in getting Essendon off to a terrific start. Nathan Burke just gets a kick away, but it's been marked by Joe Mercedes. He's been dumped by Daniels and Fletcher Everett. Not really any necessity for this. I don't think. I would reckon that Joe Mercedes would be able to get up and take his kick, although he's still on the ground behind play.
Yes, they really haven't got 2 in a row, Essendon, have they? St Kilda, rather. Back to that, nearly that margin again.
Well, we'll have another look at what happened to Joe Mercedes.
Certainly was a high approach to the ball in the smart tackling, smothering effort.
Well, they're having a look at his jaw, maybe. And he's going to have to come off, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't get him high, attempting to spoil us, I should say.
Well, I apologise, Joe. Kevin Sheedy down on the boundary. There's not that much time left in this first half, about a minute and a half. And after half-time, we have a 6-minute break at half-time. Coaches address the players on the ground. And then we've got that time plus time on.
12 minutes and 24 plus the bit extra.
So St Kilda have done all right, but they've allowed Essendon to kick 2 goals as well.
Morgan's on the ground for Mercedes. So the kick going to Denham. There's Bruce Reid with Mercedes off the ground, so it's bad luck for Joe there. No 50 metres, so Denham to kick it from centre half back. The score here is 11-10 to 8-9. Comes wide to centre wing. Somerville the target. Did very well Saturday night and has started well here. Pushes to the boundary line. Pretty happy, I think, to see it go over. So boundary throw in. Somerville, McLean, Burke, and Morgan pushes to the line.
Yes, Dennis Rich, the umpire, then had a good look at it, but he certainly was deliberate, no doubt about that.
So 19 points the margin.
A minute left, the ball is on centre wing. Now the chances with Essendon. Oh, strong at the footy was Keogh. Mercury, the Essendon player, but Keogh, with just rough, tough determination, took the football and just locked it up. It's forward of centre wing. Essendon's attacking half. Bombers lead by 19 points. Somerville gets it down. Close to the line. Denham. Harvey gives away a bit of ground, but Wanganeen, anticipation, not quite able to gather it, but got an important hand to it, and it's out of bounds in the left half forward area for Essendon. Half a minute left in the first half. Nathan Burke and Denham.
Interesting, Ian, those on-ballers will probably run the whole game. Well, the 2 12-minute halves.
Yes, you'd think with a little break coming up shortly that they'll be able to run it right out in that second half. McLean gets his hand to it. St Kilda would do well to hold the Bombers up with just seconds left in this first half. The siren will sound shortly. The umpire will bounce the ball. There's Danny Morgan. And there is the siren. So it is half-time in this historical additional 25 minutes of a game that was delayed from Saturday night. And at half-time here, what would you call it, Bruce? Three-quarter.
Start of the second half tonight. St Kilda 8-9 go to the left. Essendon 11-10, so the margin 19 points. Harvey out of the centre square. Daniels, Keogh and Burke with McLean getting the tap. Wanganeen, who kicked a goal in the first half, kicks inside 50. Mercury, it comes down to Hurd. This will hurt if he kicks this. Misses. A behind. So we're back to 20 points again. St Kilda kicked the first goal of this match tonight. Then Fraser got one back. Then Everett Gold, and there's Masidi, who had to come off the ground, carried off the ground, not on a stretcher, but carried from the ground. And then Wanganeen got one back. So it's been St Kilda, Essendon, St Kilda, Essendon. That's been the sequence of the goals. Peckett goes short and gets to Young.
Matthew Young, former Hawthorn player, kicks towards the boundary line, and Shanahan has taken the mark. He's outside his defensive 50. The short kick, is it being paid? Yes, or Buick. He looks a little bemused at the umpire, but Peckett has been paid. He's at left half back for St Kilda.
Lined up at full forward too. O'Connor in the pocket.
Must kick a goal quickly, the Saints, if they're to win this game, remembering that there's only about 16 minutes of play left. Joel Smith picks himself up. Boundary throw in. Right on centre wing. Everett, O'Connor from behind. Chance for Daniels, tackled by Morgan, didn't have the football, didn't really have control of it. Daniels free kick, looked to give the hand pass away, and then decides to kick. It gets close to the 50-metre line. Everett in front, there's a chance. Tries to get it back towards Cripps. Everett still. Well, that really wasn't all that productive. Tony Brown, who kicked a goal for St Kilda in the first half tonight, not able to gather that awkward ball. Somerville to do the ruck work. Essendon 20 points in front. You can see the time remaining. Of course, we have to add time on to that 11 minutes. David Kelthorpe, who wasn't in the team on Saturday night, coming in and having a run around. Looks as though he may be matching up on Robert Harvey.
Somerville and Everett. Keogh over the top of Calthorpe. Now with the football. Does very well. Tries to draw a man and then kicks to the pocket to Lowe. Good stretch. Oh, he had a lot of it, Big Stewie. Punched away at the last moment, I think by Fraser. And out of play. He's had a couple of good grabs, Lowe. He's had one or two shots from about 50, just too far out in the opening half. Everett and Brown, the goal scorers for the Saints. Wanganeen and Fraser in similar circumstances for Essendon. And the Bombers happy to see it go out. But St Kilda in attack. They haven't been able to get within 2 goals. They've got within 14, 15 points on a couple of occasions. Somerville works to the front, Everett at the back. Denham quickly onto the boot. Lappin's taken the mark just outside 50. Playing his first match for the season. Delivers. Low. Good lead and a good mark. Well, this is a big moment, Malcolm. Any chance the Saints have got depends on this kick from Lowe. He missed one just before half-time on Saturday night, which would have brought the Saints within a point at the time. And then Essendon were able to get a late goal, which stretched the margin.
Yeah, the great arms then. They're just out in front. Berbatov had absolutely no chance whatsoever.
So a nervous moment for Saint fans. Needing this goal. Is it coming back? No. He's just missed. And not the result they needed. 8-10, 11-11. He's not going to get many better chances than that to convert.
It's actually 2-5 for the game.
It really is a strange setup, isn't it? It looks as though the players are just careful, you know? They're not letting loose. This is Harvey with the football for the Bombers. He kicks it close towards the wing, and that mark has been paid to Barnard in front of young Lappin. Another former Hawthorn player. Of course, with the Bombers, Paul Barnard. He decides to kick it back towards the centre of the ground. Harvey couldn't take the mark. Denham at the back. Wanganeen missed it altogether. Denham goes in again. Wanganeen dispossesses his own teammate and then gets the kick away. High towards centre half forward. Chance there for Alessio. Tackling, but not able to dispossess the St Kilda player Cripps, who was another one of the changes that St Kilda made to their original lineup. O'Connor, McLean over the top. Barnard, kick across his left shoulder. Lands in the pocket, and well done. Good running. Mercury eyes on the footy. Had to cover a bit of ground to get there and took the mark safely on his chest about 30 metres out. Very difficult angle.
Yeah, amazing play for young Lappin then as we watch this in replay. Great mark from McCurry. The ruck work actually, Lappin went into the contest with a lot of players as he chips the footy.
Too far there for Calthorpe. Taken away by Cripps. His kick towards the wing. Lappin, can he gather that awkward ball? Yes, but not before the boundary line looms up, so we'll have a throw in.
Perhaps I'll just finish that, Ian. Young Lappin raced into the contest really tight. Barnard just stayed back at it, and it really did create an opportunity, which they've now actually blown.
With McCurry's short pass coming unstuck. O'Connor well done with strength and then goes long. Gets it well inside 50. Hurd in a wrestling match there with Young. Now Hurd, good hands. Buick, a very good kick. Look at that one go home. Fantastic goal to Buick. 12-11 to 8-10.
And I suggest with that noise, there's got to be 20,000 people here. Amazing. Great skills. And that's the quality, isn't it? That's the quality of James Hurd and the finish of Buick. Fantastic. Practice and more practice gets you that good. I really believe that. Those sort of kicks around your body.
Certainly a plus for Essendon, being able to put James Hurd into this lineup. Quality player. He's been out for a couple of weeks with a hand injury and still able to handle the football with a lot of surety. McLean again, he's been good. Burke to Young. Young goes straight towards Lowe. Lowe from behind. Big fist to it. Gathers by Joel Smith. Shrugs the tackle and then hooks the kick too far. And St Kilda offline. If they had have been able to kick a little straighter, maybe a little bit more pressure on the Bombers at this stage. With 8 minutes left, Essendon lead by 24 points.
Pryor was going short. He had Berbatov. He's resisted the temptation. He may still go there. He'll be asked to kick it now. Looks like he's going to go for distance and kick in the Wanganeen direction. Low. He cut one off in the first half in similar circumstances. Wanganeen to ground. Gone, holding the footy. Neil coming over the top. Wanganeen unhappy with the way he was tackled. He certainly had the ball for long enough. Now Neil kicked a couple of goals Saturday night. He's going to kick from 55. The ball at the front of the square. Low caught underneath. Gets back. Had a bit of it. Berbatov. And what's happened? Brian Sheehan's going to call it a bounce, is he? Gee, he picked that out quickly because Berbatov was away. St Kilda were claiming that Lowe held the mark. It seemed to run down his jumper. Now, could the Saints manufacture one here? Lowe and Everett. Some big, strong bodies and force through from behind. So the points are totaling up for the Saints, but it's not enough. It's 8-12 to 12-11. So what are they at, Robbo? 2-5 to 3-2.
I'm looking at you, Malcolm, because I thought Lowe was half a chance of getting a free kick out of that ruck contest.
Yeah, I was just thinking the margin's 20 points. Like I said, what are we doing here?
Now Pryor, who took the kick in from Fletcher. The ball rebounds back towards half forward. Hurd grabbed, didn't have the football. Umpire called play on. Now Berbatov over the top there of Nathan Burke. And Burke will take the free kick for St Kilda. He's too far out to score. Isn't he a gutsy little player, Nathan Burke? He's kicked towards full forward, the front of the square. Low interfering there. And I would suggest that maybe Berbatov is going to get the free kick. Just being pushed out of that marking contest. And he relieves for Essendon. He's kicked towards the pocket, and James Hurd wraps it up. Well, you wouldn't think that the Bombers would care too much about time wasting. He's going to get a 50-metre penalty. He won't be in any hurry whatsoever. As the seconds tick away as far as St Kilda are concerned, 6.5 minutes left, and Essendon lead by...
Look at this.
19 points.
I mean, Hurd really, I mean, that was really sucked in stuff. I mean, it probably won't make any difference to the game, but I mean, that's a very ordinary decision. You can see Hurd just letting himself get grabbed. I mean, Hall did nothing to him, really.
McCurry goes backwards to Hurd. At half-back. So, Robbo said earlier, the Saints fans giving him a Bronx cheer every time he gets near it, and he is getting near it a few times. Somerville goes to the boundary line as he's done all night.
And that's unfair too, because both clubs agreed to this. I honestly thought that they shouldn't have played anybody else in the 21. Well, that's a personal opinion. It's not. So why should they be booing one player? It's not fair.
Mercury, Wanganeen busy as he was Saturday evening. Inside 50, Harvey sets himself through the fingers. Neil's kick didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, off lap, and well done, Keogh, who has played well. He'll want to get rid of now. He does, and he just got past Wanganeen. It's into the centre, low strongly to Smith. Well-weighted handball to Jones. Got to go all the way, Aussie. Kick the left. It's going to be close. No, pushing a guy at the end. Yeah, the handball outside.
Why would you get the ball? I mean, I just don't understand some people in players these. I mean, when you get the ball at centre half back, you've got the whole paddock in front of you. Why wouldn't you just go direct? Why would you decide on doing anything else? Particularly when you're 4 goals down.
8-13 to 12-11. Fletcher to bring her back in.
Bit of indecision by the maybe the lesser experienced Kilda lineup. It'll be interesting to see from games played, because there's a few Essendon players that haven't played much football out there tonight too, and this is one of them, young Berbakoff. He's got a big job trying to contain Stuart Lowe. The kick across the full-back line has been taken by Denham. He's prepared to give the time clock, try and run it down, but Fletcher is there. Harvey was a chance to gather that ball. Fletcher's kick will go close to the line, not far enough. Gathered by Brown, kicking towards centre forward. Oh, he slipped over, but he was still able to judge it. And it was well done too, wasn't it, by big Stuart Lowe, a big man, but still able to control the footy. Short pass, a bit too high. James Hurd gets back. Shane Wakeland's into the action. Tackle, Wanganeen. Tackled by Elliott. Kicked away by Fraser. Free kick, says the umpire. And it will go back to Essendon at left half back. And it could be, is it Hurd or Fraser that's
Wanganeen.
Wanganeen, is it?
I thought he must have missed it, because it seemed to be a late whistle.
The other umpire, Brian Sheehan, made the decision off the ball. The second umpire was definitely a high tackle.
Just going back to that point, Ian, you see that a lot in footy now. They look for blokes out wide, where when you get into centre half back, to go direct and let the runners run to that.
Just to keep possession, I
think it's that balance, but when you, as I said, 4 goals down in a game, you know, I mean,
you've got to get up there, don't you?
O'Donnell from Wanganeen.
I think they had their chance early in that first half.
Mercury. Time ticking away. Essendon possession football. They're home and hosed now. 12-11 to 8-13. The Saints had a moment or two.
It's become farcical now.
Calthorpe.
It's not going to be a pretty win, but it's going to be a win.
Yeah, no one said you had to play it pretty. Remember the Bears doing this against Geelong a couple of years ago, and in the end, actually got up from almost impossible position by a point.
50 against Lowe, then on O'Connor. So unfortunately for the Saints, it's just fallen apart now.
Well, one of the problems here is that there is a loose player for St Kilda playing up the ground. As soon as you see the first chip, I mean, the call should automatically come. Let's go and watch them man up just for this situation.
O'Connor also prepared to just waste a few more seconds.
Now it's right. Everyone's got a man now. I mean, as soon as the first kick comes, that's exactly what should happen. You realise what's going on.
There's the scoreline, 3.5 minutes left. Essendon lead by 22 points. Hurd. Now Anthony Darcy for St Kilda. His kick goes in towards the centre. Darryl Wakeland couldn't take it, neither could Tony Brown. Nathan Burke fierce. Is he a little too fierce? No. Brown over the top to Jones. Aussie's creative. Gets it to Harvey. Harvey forced to kick quickly. He's been shut out fairly successfully. Fletcher on Shane Wakeland, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
In all fairness, 5 or 6 kicks in this space of time is not a bad effort if you multiply that by the normal game.
Yeah, should be pretty happy, wouldn't you? 20 to 25 possessions. Morgan at the back. Shane Wakeland. Tony Brown. Quick hand pass to Harvey. Harvey across that line, and it's been marked by Jones. Jones in towards full forward. A little too high, low. Well done, Elliott. Tried to tap it to his own advantage, then went past the football. Mercury, low off the ground as a goal. St Kilda have got another one. So it is a 16-point margin to Essendon with 2.5 minutes left. It's probably not enough time for St Kilda to get up.
No, you'd certainly think that. Once again, the ball went to the low direction, which was good, in the front of the goal square. Elliott was there to assist. That little tap out was important. I mean, a lot of players will try and drag it back in. Just a little tap out, keep the ball going, was terrific play.
9-13, 12-11, 2.5 minutes remaining. Centre square important. Well done, Daniels. Harvey, Burke, quick kick, could low mark. He's behind Berbatov. Berbatov didn't hold it. Smith, Everett fell over. Chance here. Young, back to Keogh. Goes back to Daniels, too slow. One chance they had. It was a big one too, and maybe it's now gone. Buick just gives to Hurd cleverly. Hurd laterally, but St Kilda should take it and do. Good mark at the second. He's been all right, Young. Centering. Centre half forward. Jones looking for the crumbs with Brown. And also Elliott, and it's a bounce.
That Keogh handball to a guy standing still, that's just, oh yeah, you take the responsibility. Oh, this is too hot for me. All you had to do was kick the footy. I mean, it's just a judgment thing, but I mean, giving it to a player standing flat-footed right alongside you is as much trouble as what he was.
Fletcher tried to clear the congestion, not successful. Kicked out by Morgan, out towards the wing. Now Darcy gets back, but not quickly enough. In went Lucas, fierce at the football, and able to carry it over for a boundary throw-in. St Kilda fans not happy, but I'm sure Essendon fans will breathe a, well, they don't have to breathe a sigh of relief. They'll win this game now. They are 16 points in front.
Robbo, 17,590. That's the official attendance.
And I think that's fantastic.
Here's Buick, who kicked the all-important goal in this term. Centering kick. Wakeland front. Is it down? No, hanging on. Free kick going to Essendon by the look of it. Against Shanahan to Alessio.
Purely academic.
3-2 to 3-6 since we've come out here tonight. So St Kilda have been able to take 4 points off, but Alessio with a chance to increase the margin to 22 points.
Gee, what an ordinary free kick that was.
I think it was before the camera just went on there. You see him let go of his back there. Just must have pinged on a bit. As I said,
First game since round 2 for Alessio. Short that it may be. Good kick. Close. He's got it. (13-11 to 9-13), and that might just about be it. So the Bombers will get the 4 points and improve a couple of positions tonight on the ladder.
in racing parlance, Bruce, you'd have to say, with 3 lengths in front with 100 metres to go, is always a good lead in sport, isn't it?
A mighty lead, and St Kilda had to make all the running. There's Kevin Sheedy, and they've tried to make the running, and it's forced an error or two under pressure. But they've had a couple of chances, haven't they?
Well, that big guy that was just in the picture a second ago had an opportunity late in the first half, and just down on his ball handling a little bit. Not much margin for error when the game that is to be played is only about 32 minutes in time. This is young Lappin, little kick, finds Peckett. Peckett from right half back, one bounce and then kicks towards half forward. Harvey from behind Calthorpe just moves it on very quickly. Young and Lowe is on the end of it. That's a mark. By Dennis Rich right on the scene there. Stuart Lowe pointing to where maybe he grabbed the ball first. Now being called to play on, but that's just purely elementary. The kick will not score, and officially Essendon have won this round 10 clash by, what's the margin, 22 points, is it? 13-11-89, St Kilda 9-13-67.